All right. We're back once again. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk, where we have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about music, music education, band, HBCU, band culture, and more. Let me go ahead and introduce the panel. On my right, we got Rick.
Yo, what's good?
Down at the bottom, we got Quan.
1-0.
Oh man.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Oh god.
And guest panelists today, we got Eric.
There you go, Rick.
Man, hey man, I love seeing it. I love seeing it. All right.
I just realized y'all be like playing pranks on me, bringing all these doggone alphas on this show. We got Mario, we got y'all three. This is some mess. Car ain't coming on here. Ugh, man, get some dogs on here.
I mean, you know, the intellectual of the brothers are the ones who step up.
Hey, what frat brothers you have as band directors though?
Minnie, Dr. Zachary, the band director of your own band.
He's so sober. I can't believe it.
It's a lot, man, but whatever.
All right, so make sure that when you come in, you go ahead and click that like button. Also, please make sure that you subscribe to the network. We always want to make sure you subscribe to the network. If you're watching on YouTube right now, go over to YouTube and subscribe to the network. All right. Let's go ahead and get this thing started off. Let's kick it off. Question. Anybody watch any good games this past weekend? Anybody? I know this past weekend was like super busy, yo. So I know this is probably going to be the hardest answer that anybody could give. But did anybody watch any games this past weekend or go back and watch any games this past weekend?
I went and I saw that Southern versus Alcorn battle. And I got to say, man, Alcorn was surprisingly good, bro. Let me take that back. I'm sorry. Alcorn was good. Like, we got to stop assuming that people aren't going to be good when they face Southern. Alcorn was, with the staff change and all that they went through, it's really pleasing to see that band is still churning ahead. Obviously, some room for improvement on both sides, but, it's a good game, man. A lot of people are saying that it was the best battle they've seen this year, especially involving Southern. So, kudos to them, man. But yeah, I thought Alcorn, that was pretty much the only one I saw. Didn't Alabama State play Alabama A&M this weekend too? I think so. I can't.
I'm gonna be very honest. I didn't see that.
But yeah, man, I thought it was cool. But our focus was on something a little bigger. So yeah, man, I thought Alcorn was better, but the Battle of the Bands was where I was, and I thought it was amazing. So
yeah, definitely. I want to take some time really quickly to actually talk about that, man. Show up and show out on the Hill. That was hosted by US Bands, man. Historic event this week. I thought I look at it as a historic event, and of course, everybody who watched, man, we went live there. I thought it was great. It was definitely something that was needed, and I can't say enough how important it is and how important it was to have that to happen. Being a product of Houston and being a product of Texas, and just knowing what it was like. During my time, I thought it was normal to be able to transition from doing a show style show to a core style show, but many people weren't doing it. And as I've gotten older, I've realized that how difficult it can be on the students, but then in some ways it's unfair. But I think that US Bands did a great job of putting that together. And I don't know, Eric, you want to kind of talk about it a little bit and just kind of give some background and some things that happened this weekend?
I can definitely say I appreciated seeing you three brothers there at the contest, and definitely want to give kudos to Rick for actually being one of the key judges there who judged overall effect. I can't give enough kudos to U.S. bands, man. It was a legit national adjudicated judging contest, and it was on par with the same judges' sheets with a little bit of tweak with the judges that were there.
Did we lose Eric?
Yeah.
Smith.
Well, I mean, I'll go, man. I'll go
yeah.
until he gets back because
Yeah,
you
go
know,
ahead.
like it is absolutely unfair, and there's definitely racism involved. And I'm just going to be straightforward with it. The Woodlands High School doesn't have to change their style to come compete for UIL competition. So basically, what you're saying is what you black folks do is inferior to what they do. So you need to figure out how to do what they do and what you do. So our students at these predominantly black institutions are forced to prepare these shows in band camp just like every other band in the state of Houston. Or in the city of Houston, sorry, the state of Texas, and then these core style bands, they work that same exact show with, they may make a change here or there, but it's the same show they work all year long. So of course they're going to be more perfected at what they do than a band that's changing their show every 1 or 2 weeks. Quan, I know you doing that with your band. Y'all not playing the same show all year long. So basically what you're saying is forget what y'all do. That is inferior. So you need to learn how to do this just to get credit. So, like you said, Julian, kudos to U.S. Bands and Blue Devils Performing Arts because they were, working with us and some other people said, you know what, man, you're right. We need to be doing things that are fair and equitable to all students, not just core style students. And the best part about it was, the best band on the field this weekend, there were core style and show style bands there, and the best band on the field was a show style band. Kudos to Cedar Hill, man. The guys knocked it out the park. Go ahead, Quan.
Well, I'll
I'll
say
say this.
do I have echo, you guys? Okay. I'll say this. For me, what this weekend honestly did for me, it was a breath of fresh air. For many of us, it was a dream that actually came true. But also, what this also does is put other show style band directors on notice that you can't use that excuse anymore. You can't use that excuse. Well, it's racism in UIL or whatever, adjudicated competition with, that have core style judges. You can't use that excuse anymore because you have a competition, honestly, that is for you, that is fair across the board. So you can't use the excuse of, well, I'm not going to go to competition at all. I mean, that's out the window. So we have to, I'm looking at it from both sides. So Rick, you're absolutely right. The best band on the field was Cedar Hill. Shout out to them. Shout out to their directors. But honestly, big ups to all of those bands that honestly performed and participated this past week, because one of the best feelings in the world is when you could just merely be you. And I think all of those programs, they were comfortable in what they did. They showed up and showed out, and it was an outstanding job. Also, big shout out to Prairie View A&M for hosting it, Marching Stone for hosting it, Dr. Zachary. And honestly, this may sound small to some, but what was big for me was at the end when they did their band creed or affirmation. Those are things that honestly that sometimes we dismiss, but as a band director, your job is to also not just build musicians, but build character. And that whole affirmation, they could take that for the rest of their lives and to their respective fields, man. So again, outstanding job for USA Bands, to the judges. I mean, it was a dream come true for a lot of us.
And then Quan, before I turn it back to Eric, I'll say this too, bro. This is a double recruitment. Because on one hand, for you larger institutions out there, the bigger bands that always talk about how great they are, throw this type of show at your school. You want great students that can play the horn? Get these bands to your school so you can do the recruitment. And then on the other hand, U.S. Bands is owned by Blue Devils Performing Arts. This is a perfect opportunity for the Blue Devils to say, man, you know what? We are investing, and which is what they're doing. We are investing in these programs. We want you to be a part of the Blue Devils. It ain't just we come in there to put on a show that, no. We want you to be a part of what we do. So, man, it was beautiful, bro. And I'm telling you, man, as long as they'll have me, I'm going to be a part of this program, man. It's amazing. Go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, I apologize. I don't know. I lost your brother somewhere, but so hopefully I'm not echoing anything that's already been said. But as I stated, U.S. Bands has been a huge supporter of this, along with Con Selmer, BDPA, just a lot of folks. We had Flow Marching, just a lot. So it was a labor of love. It was a challenge because some bands, fortunately did qualify for Texas UIL area. So they did well at regional. So of course they did that. And then you had the bands that had the usual, that had COVID outbreaks, and they have to go about what their protocols are. So, just like anything else, we rolled the punches. But what I can say was that the event definitely was a success. Again, I cannot give enough kudos to Dr. Zachary and the Marching Storm for putting that on. I mean, there were so many students that helped volunteer for it. Rick, as we talked, we were wrapping up everything after you had the feedback with the directors that they definitely appreciated. My phone has been blowing up because now it was kind of like hey, is this really going to happen? Is this a bunch of hype? And since it did come to fruition and it did happen and everybody's very happy with the result, now I'm getting several phone calls, which is what's expected, to expand this thing. And I haven't stopped talking to people since literally Saturday, 9 p.m. And you brothers know, man, I'm an older guy. So I'm not going to tell my age, but I'm going to tell my age. I was a crowd back in 1989. So I've been around this thing for a long time. So the good thing about it is that I can recognize, thanks, Luke, I appreciate that, bro. The good thing about it is that I can appreciate what every conference brings to the game. I can appreciate what every band brings because I'm not directly attached to anybody, so I don't have a bias. I just recognize what excellence is. And that's one of the reasons why I celebrate what the bands do. And one of the things that I think that's unique about what we're doing, not only just recognizing traditional /show style for any band, is that bands that come in that do core style, we have those sheets as well. We can literally flip and have them still participate. Whereas in other environments, you might have a show style band that comes with traditional style that comes to a UIL type event or some type of core style event, and they're penalized. Whereas this one, it's fair across the board. So it's very legitimate, and that's been a lot of the feedback that I've been giving, especially when I talk to some of the big sponsors this morning. So yeah, great things.
Yeah, man, I definitely want to say, man, I appreciate it. It's dope. It's a dope situation. And like I said, as a Texas product, man, it's so, monumental to see. It's historic, just knowing the issues and the things that we, deal with sometimes, especially being, especially being a high school band director, and seeing, some of the woes that have happened in the past. So I think it's dope. So once again, big shout out, man. I appreciate it all. And I want to talk that talk to continue to be on the ground floor when all this thing keeps blowing up. So yeah, most definitely. All right. Keep it moving though. Nobody else saw any other performances this past weekend before we get going, because we got to get to those topics. Anybody else saw any performances? Jay, Nate, maybe. It looked like Quan about to say something. You got it.
Yeah, so I did see the Alcorn Southern battle, and Rick kind of said it. It was a really good battle for me as well. But I have to give the shout out to those student directors, and honestly, those directors allowing those students to get on the podium. Sometimes depending the school that you're at, sometimes that doesn't happen. And so what I was told was all of the arrangements that they had those students up there, they were writing, and of course there's aspects of improvement, but at least they're allowing them to grow as musicians and teachers.
All right, there we go. We got it in. All right. So let's go ahead and get it right. Let's go through this process. You already know how I go. It's time to get to these topics. So before we get to the topics, welcome everybody to Talk That Talk, where we have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about music education, band, HBCU band culture, and more. Please make sure that as soon as you come in, you go ahead and click that like button. I hit the wrong button. That was my fault. I ain't even click the right button. But go ahead and click that like button. Show us some love. Look, this is the thing. It don't cost nothing for you to click a like button, bro. It's very quick, very easy to do. As soon as you come in, whether you got a touchscreen or not, go ahead and click them like buttons. And I'm telling you right now, my moderator gonna tell you to go ahead and click that like button too. So don't be in the comments talking if you ain't clicked that like button. So click that like button. Also, please make sure that you subscribe to the network. I got that going down at the bottom. You're gonna see that the whole day. All right, subscribe to the network. So please make sure you go over to the YouTube page. If you're watching this on Facebook, that's dope. I appreciate it. But go over to the YouTube page as well and go ahead and subscribe to the network and turn on notifications, because I'm always uploading things. All right, here we go. First topic, we're gonna get it on out the way. I love when you say that. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this out the way. So one of the things that I find very interesting when I'm kind of perusing and when I'm uploading these videos and I'm putting them on, the Facebook page and all that kind of stuff. And I remember that one day when Rick caught a lot of heat for what he was saying. But nobody came in to rap about that. And one of the things that comes up all the time is this one question that I'm going to ask you, and you can really answer this any way you want, meaning you can run down your resume or you can respond to it in any other kind of way that you want to. So here we go. The first question is, who qualifies you to make these comments? Oh, I put this comment. Good Lord, I can't even write. Hold on, let me fix that. Good Lord, I can't write this morning or afternoon or night or evening, whatever. All right, there we go. Who qualifies you to make these comments? Quan, you got it first.
Caught me off guard with that one. I mean, from a resume standpoint, I am a music educator. I have been a music educator, around about 10 years now. I've heard Rick say this before, and I agree with him. A degree doesn't make you a musician or a great teacher, but I feel like I'm a student of the game, and I've been in the trenches, and I'm in the trenches now. I've built programs, charter, public, whatever. But at the same time, I think what qualifies me to make these comments is, I'm in the thick of things, and we're going about it in a positive manner for music education. I think everybody else, and this is the other part, everybody else is merely opinions. I'm not a band head. I'm a music educator. I see the bigger picture. I see what the common goal for where we are now in the music game is regarding to minorities and where we should go. I mean, I've been there, so that's just what qualified me. I'm a very humble person, so it's not about the things that I've accomplished, which I've accomplished a great deal of things thus far, bless God. But I mean, everything else is honestly, I'm in the thick of things, real talk, grinding it out.
All right, cool. Next up, Rick, who qualifies you to make these comments?
Jesus.
Quan, you took the words out my mouth. I don't owe none of you idiots out there that can't justify your arguments with anything other than I like that band, an opinion or justification on nothing. The fact of the matter is, I'm not worshiping your band God. Good is good, bad is bad. Concert F at Blue Devils, at any place in the world is Concert F. And if it's out of tune, it's out of tune. And I understand that I don't sit at the same altar as y'all. Oh, this band is the best. I must bow down every time they play, whatever they play, even though some of that mess sounds terrible and we are unable to say it. But I worship God this weekend. I don't worship your God. My God is in heaven. Sorry. And so that's what justifies me to say it. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And that's what's wrong with our community. If you don't go along with the masses, oh, something wrong with you. No. Right is right and wrong. Every band that y'all say sucks does not. There are a lot of great bands in HBCU. Some better than others, yes. But the fact of the matter is, just because you like somebody doesn't mean that makes them the best. So that's the first thing. I'm not giving my whole resume to these people. Y'all, that's what Google is for. Have a nice day. Look me up. Right. Like, come on, man. Like, we don't owe you an explanation. Now, here's the problem. We got a lot of internet gangsters and YouTube University doctorate degrees out there. All these people that you talk to them in real life, they couldn't spell an E flat chord or a C major chord. Couldn't spell it to save their life. But they are an expert at marching band. And that's the only thing. Post some wind ensemble clips. I'll wait. Post some clips of your wind ensemble. Fact of the matter is, Jackson State just posted their wind ensemble program on Facebook. I guarantee ain't none of y'all clamoring to go look at their wind ensemble concert that's tonight. And Jackson State has a legitimate wind ensemble. Southern has a legitimate wind ensemble. I wish they played grade 6 music, but, you know, I'm sure they're working towards that. So before you sit up here and give us the justification on how this band is best because they marching band can do something, congratulations. You got your YouTube doctorate. I'm getting my actual doctorate in May. That's my qualifications. Have a nice day.
All right. I don't know how you're gonna follow that one, man. Prince, who qualifies you to make these comments?
Well, as I stated, I love the podcast, man, because y'all go in. So I'm literally here as a neutral party. I know Rick will probably rip me up for being PC, but man, like being real, my resume is very long between marching 3 years, HBCU style, D1 college, D2 college, D1A, AA, running some several different programs, been trained by some of the best instructors there are out there, been a judge in 15 different states. I've been doing this now for 20, man, I'm telling my age, like over 28 years. I've taught 6 different drum corps, been a brass caption head, won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Jim Ott brass trophies. I think I know characteristic sounds when I hear them.
A lot of people don't even know what that Jim Ott is. Not a lot of people like, who?
I'll just kind of leave it at that. My ears are trained well, and I'm literally don't have a dog in the fight. That's why I said I'm just a fan of the art. My only thing I get concerned with is, and I'm just gonna be real about this, and Rick and I've had this discussion. When you open this door for others to come in and see how you treat each other, you subject your alma mater, your conference, the overall HBCU community to a lot of banter because of how it is treated. I'm not saying that's good. I'm not saying that it's bad. I love YouTube videos, but there's a lot more to it than just what is presented in the 3 minutes that people watch. And I get in the dirt. So I'm a huge pedagogy guy. Rick knows that about me. So I get into the process, and that tells me everything. The show that's presented, that is great. I need to see the day-to-day process, and that's where the true work comes in for me. So that's where I find my qualifications to speak on what I hear. And even from any standpoint, I can find something truly intrinsic and good to say about every band that performs. I'm just happy to see people perform at this point based off where we were a year and a half ago. So it's amazing to me how we can go back to some quote unquote old habits so fast, but it is what it is. So I think I'm
But Prince, it opens up a different conversation, right? Because I think you just touched on something that doesn't get talked about enough, which is we glorify the wrong things. You know, because somebody is put in the spotlight more doesn't mean they're great. Like I say it all the time. You know this, Prince, and we all know this guy. Alfred Watkins is a GOAT in the band community. Forget the African American band community. In the band community, Alfred Watkins is a GOAT. That's one of the Tom Brady's of the band world. But no, majority of these people who have these internet degrees don't know who that is. You know what I'm saying? So, but they'll justify somebody doing something ignorant, walking across the field like they about to go up to the other band, like something stupid and all that mess. And think that, oh, that's the GOAT. And not actually put the research into seeing, like, guys, people that look like us are doing music education at the highest levels. And I would love to see those people get their flowers while they're here, you know, and get the, you know, as opposed to us justifying some people who doing ignorance and we call that good. Like, I mean, y'all know I'm not lying. I know the band world might not like what I'm saying, but they know I'm not lying. How many times we log on and we see a video of black bands disrespecting one another? You know, F you. Yeah, and it's because of a band, insignificant band battle. A fifth quarter, 5 songs means I hate you. You know, it's ridiculous, man. Like, our culture needs to grow up. As black people, we need to stop being so ignorant to each other. No, I ain't saying it because I ain't just talking about them. That's every band culture. Because we did the same thing at Norfolk State. As soon as Virginia State sat across that field,
We didn't do that.
It was, man, when Hampton came in that stadium, we was not like, hi, brother, how are you? Let's have a great day of band.
We were professionally aggressive. Okay.
Yeah.
But we
Whatever.
never said you to him. Just wanted to make that clear.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, but that's true, bro. Like, we justify the wrong stuff. Justify being the first black person to win BOA twice. Justify being, you know, a director emeritus of one of the best band programs in the country. That's what I care about. Not, oh man, you played that Maria. Boy, that thing was sweet, bro. Like, everybody played Maria. We played Maria in 2000 at Norfolk State.
Rick, give me a favor.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I just want to pause for this moment.
What's good, Ma?
All right, there we go.
hey,
Boo boo kitty. Oh,
what you said is to your point, right? I don't know if he's a doctor or not, but we didn't hear a lot of celebration for I'm gonna just call him Mr. But if he's doctor, my apologies. Like Mr. Cliff Chrome's the first black band director at UT. We've never mentioned that, or even cool people, Latoya, who's on staff with them as well. And these are like large D1 colleges, but we never mentioned them.
Cause they ain't cranking, bro. That thing ain't cranking, bro. It ain't aggressive. It sound too MEAC. It sound too MEAC, that UT mess.
The brothers at LSU, like
Yeah, Kelvin.
yeah, like he's the first black band director of the SEC, bro. Like these are this is Black history, but we don't highlight those things. And I mean, like we can all agree our priorities are messed up when it comes to music education, because first it's about pedagogy, and at the age that I'm at now, I realize that that movie Drumline speaks volumes in a different way now than for me merely being entertained when I was younger, because I realize now all Dr. Lee was saying was, my job is to educate, then entertain. And we still have that backwards to this day. We want to entertain first, and then with coonery in some areas, and then we backdoor, and then we say, well, that person doesn't know proper pedagogy. Well, how can you? But
that's the edutainment speech that he gave in that film. It's crazy, and just because you brought up that film, I couldn't stand that film, but when I got older, Dr. Lee resonated with me a lot more, man, especially sitting in the band director seat. So I definitely understand exactly where you were coming from on that regard, bro. Maya, how you doing, girl? You all right? You good?
I'm making it. How are y'all?
We good. That phony Dallas traffic, I know it's trash. And
I'm actually still in Houston. This is Houston traffic.
Oh wow, you still you was down in the Galleria?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the reason why it's Galleria traffic. You know that Galleria traffic trash.
Big money.
I know. The thing is, I thought that I would be able to. I had to go 11 miles, 13 miles. It took me 50 plus minutes to do so. That don't make no sense.
Well, since you're here, you want to get in on this topic here?
What qualifies you to make whose comments? Well, let me just fill me in a little bit. I've been trying to get an
Maya, we talking about all these internet gangsters and YouTube PhDs that think that we something wrong with us because we refuse to bow down at the altar of their favorite bands.
So what makes them qualified to make these comments?
No, what makes us qualified to have a differing opinion from everybody else?
Because I have skin game. Because I mean, we call it swag hours. We can call it experience, background, expertise, things that I can actually be evaluated, things that can actually we have proof of the pudding. I've been there, did it, swam through it, bled through it, all that type of stuff. So that's what makes me qualified. I mean, what makes somebody who gets a doctorate, what makes them qualified? Them going through their dissertation, and there are things that are evaluated that says that you have a level of understanding that surpasses these other folks. So now you are qualified to speak. You're talk that talk. So that's what makes me able to be able to do that. I mean, been there, done that. I think that I mean, even if we're just talking about band, I mean, I marched for how many years total? What, 9 years? If we're talking about high school too. Dance. I've been dancing since I was 2. How old am I now? 28. I mean, yeah. So that's what makes us qualified to make these comments, and not just because we big faced behind a little camera, behind a little keyboard.
You better talk your talk, girl.
Now stop. Now, don't get me started, man.
You better talk your talk. Hold up.
I agree.
There we go. See, yeah, I just had to go ahead and throw it in there. You already know what it was. All right, so let me. Oops, I submitted myself. I muted myself. Let me ask you guys this question. It's a follow-up question. So you guys gave some really interesting things as you all were talking. One of the things that popped in my head was, what about those people who marched and got their quote unquote SWAC hours, or I don't know if MEAC hours is a thing, but I'm just gonna say MEAC hours. I don't think it's a thing, no. But they got their hours, right? But they are going along with the normal trends, and they feel as though they're qualified. Does that count for them to be able to have a voice? Anybody can throw that out there.
No. I think what I've learned as I've gotten older, everybody has an opinion, and your opinion is valid to you. But I can't go to the doctor and tell that doctor, a medical doctor, say, I really think you should research breast cancer in this manner, or this disease or whatever in this manner. I don't have that expertise. So you can't belittle or dismiss a person's opinion, but sometimes your opinion is merely flawed or invalid. At the end of the day, if you don't have, and what I realize is, if you don't have facts, if you don't have data, if you don't have those things behind it, then it really don't matter, bro. It's just an opinion that you haven't proven yet.
Can't even argue with that. All right, cool. I appreciate that one to get us started off. All right.
Was that like a part B of the question?
Yeah, that was a B. Why, you got a C to it?
No, because I was just gonna say, I mean, just because you marched in a band does not make you a bandsman. I'm a true believer that everybody that was in the band is not a bandsman. I say it every week. There's only a select few people that get it, and those it persons are the ones who are able to develop the expertise. There's only a few people who make the leadership rank. There are only a few people who are infectious in band or programs or auxiliaries or whatever. So just because you're in there, just because you wear the letters, don't necessarily mean you represent them or you understand the depth behind them.
Okay. All right. Man, that was some real. All right. Well, let's keep it going then. If you're just tuning in, welcome everybody to Talk That Talk, where we have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about music education, band, HBCU band culture, and more. Please make sure as soon as you come in, let's click that like button. Let's get these likes up. It does not take much to click a like button. I don't care if you're watching it on your phone, if you watching it on your computer, if you got an iPad, it's touchscreen. Go ahead and touch that like button. All right. Also, please make sure that if you're watching us, go over to the YouTube channel and subscribe to the network. Also turn on notifications. If you're on the Facebook, go over to the YouTube channel. We live on both of them, Facebook and YouTube. So it's all right. If you ain't gonna miss nothing, if you just go ahead and click over to YouTube and go ahead and subscribe to the network. All right, let's keep it going. So I saw this post, and it's really online and on par with what we're talking about, right? And I know that y'all probably wasn't ready for this one, but I'm gonna throw this one out here. So I saw this post. Let me see if it'll come up. I don't know if y'all can see that. but if you can't see it, it's all good. All right. So the post says, band heads, people that know what's good and how things should be operated, understand the culture, and have some band and knowledge on how to critique. Whereas they have band weenies. I think that's a terrible word, but people who are fans of band and say the first thing that pops in their head. Don't be a band weenie. Now I'm looking at Rick's face right now. So the next question. Can we define a band head? Can we define a band head? Maya.
I mean, yes, we can define it. How are we going to? I guess to me, it's just the equivalent of, just like I was saying, just everyone that's in the band is not necessarily a bandsman. Why does the NFL or whomever, you got your first string, second string, third string, we need bench holders. So I guess the band head is defined as the person who understands the depth, who is able to teach, who is teachable, and is talented. Whatever, I mean, that takes me to, okay, well, if we say whoever is that it person, so what is that it factor? That's a good question. I'm still thinking on that. That's a hard way to define by giving, okay, you have to do this, and this makes you a band head. That's a good question.
Okay. Rick, can we define a band head?
I mean, I want to look at it for two different perspectives. First and foremost, I think the biggest problem I have with this question is that the fact that people think there should be a difference. A good musician is a good musician. I don't care if you love choir, orchestra, band, whatever. If you're a great musician, then you're going to be good at your craft. So that's that just bothers me, is there's always a separation. Like, you know how, like, you go to a school that has a decent wind ensemble. When it's marching band season, you got baritone players, tuba players playing with this uncharacteristic sound. And as soon as they step in the wind ensemble room, they know they can't play with that sound. So they completely change back to being a normal person when it comes to thinking about music. And the one thing I used to preach is that they are not different. The things that you do to create a great sound in wind ensemble, you should be doing in marching band. It's just a little bit louder. That's it. But people aren't teaching that. The only reason we play with that volume outside is so people can hear you. John Philip Sousa and those guys, when they were outside doing marches and stuff, were not playing at the volumes that some of these marching bands are playing at right now. So the fact that we think they should be two different things. In my opinion, a band head is just somebody that loves band. They have a upstanding appreciation for it. I am not a band head because for me, music is not only my livelihood, it is something that I've invested countless hours, years of my life into honing my craft. So I have a respect for it that I wish some of these people that feel like, that call themselves like self-professed band heads, if you really love something, then you'll do the work to make sure that you are able to understand it and talk about it at a higher level, not just because you like it. So, I guess, and that goes with the last question you said too, Julian. Those two things go hand in hand for me. The reason why I get so frustrated when people that I know that are not qualified to be having these conversations do is because at the end of the day, you can't give a legitimate explanation of why this band A is better than band B. So it's just simply, I like band A, I don't like band B, so band A is better. Not, man, listen to this this tune. It was out of tune. Not one section played with a cohesive sound. There was not one part of it that had clarity where I could hear the melody and then everything else independent of that works behind it. There was no pyramid of sound there or a block of sound depending on what. That is what an educated conversation sounds like. Not, man, boy, that joint was boring, bro. That joke was boring, bro. I'm good. I'm not interested. So that's what it is to me, man.
All right, bruh, I'm gonna go to Quan next, but hey, man, wake Hooch up, man.
Man, this man Hoochie down here in his that boy down here in his dreams, man. Hey,
Everybody
that's my dog, y'all. He in here snoring his tail off. He's sleeping good right underneath me.
I said, man, I'm sleeping.
Oh my gosh! All right,
So let me
go ahead, Quan.
So I saw the viewer just made a comment that was valid. She basically said that the term bandhead at one point meant like that you were kind of like a nerd, like you was into it. But I think nowadays as music educators, the term bandhead has a negative connotation, honestly, to it, because it's basically saying that you're only appreciative, like in the words of Rick, to one aspect of music or ensemble. When as a music educator, you should be, appreciating, supporting them all. My the dog having fifth quarter. I think the bandhead term now, because of social media and the internet, you have so many opinions, and you have individuals that didn't honestly build anything. I think that's the biggest pet peeve for me. You have a lot of people that have a lot of opinions, but they ain't built shit. And honestly, as a person that has built several programs before, like that's like a slap in the face. I think a lot of people, we could talk about, people talk about Prairie View, but I've seen the transition from one band director to the next. The man built that program. So I don't give a damn what nobody says. To build a program is you have to be a special person that's called for a special mission that God is giving you to build. I mean, if you look at Langston, that's a rebuilt program. I mean, those programs are real. I think Hampton was a rebuilt program at one point, Hampton or Howard. And shout out to the schools that, even though they're smaller schools, they maintain their kids. Miles is another one. They had fell off at one point, and another one is Benedict College. So I mean, at the end of the day, a bandhead is a person that has an opinion that can't back up shit. That's how I look at a bandhead in today's terminology. But a person that has an opinion that's valid, like Rick said, that can honestly discern apples from oranges, then we can have a conversation. But if you just like that particular school because you like that school, well, you full of shit.
Okay. All right, Prince, can we define a bandhead?
Yeah, y'all going in, bro. I looked at it simply from the standpoint of, from my background, a bandhead was basically kind of like how Quan said, somebody that was looked upon as they were just totally into the culture when it came to traditional style. And that was literally what it was. Again, I keep coming to the same point of, I can like my band for what they do without disrespecting another one. And I think that's where it gets lost, because I can literally articulate my reason as to why I may not prefer something, or a style, maybe a specific chart that a band played, or it just wasn't performed well, without being disrespectful. And I think that's where it keeps coming in. But I'll just look at a bandhead as somebody that knows the culture, has performed in the culture at one of the HBCU bands, and knows the style, and basically is a big fan of it. And that's literally how I look at it. I keep it that simple. It bothers me. It makes my skin crawl when it's constantly disrespected, where, oh, you went to this school, so you don't know anything. And that's where I think that's where you lose people, and that's where the dialogue gets lost. So that's my simple version of defining what a bandhead is.
Eric, I know so many bandheads that didn't march for colleges, but because maybe that school is in their state, or their band director graduated from that school, and they didn't even march for that damn school, and they're more in love with that school than the people that even went there. So it's like, when you talk about bandhead, it's kind of like levels to the bandhead. You got the bandhead who actually march, then you got the bandhead who kind of like, I'm gonna just put it in this term, who's meat riding the band that they ain't never been in. And then you got band heads who riding another band's tip who march for another band. Like, it's so many levels to band head. So you got band head level tier 1, 2, and 3. I mean, but at the end of the day, they fall into some form of a category where it's like, how is your opinion valid? You just you're a fan of this band. You didn't really march for them. So I mean, it's crazy, bro.
Hey, real talk, man. Hey, valid point on that. I just look at it from the standpoint of I'm only going to argue with somebody so long when they can't articulate to help me come to their side, and then I'll stop it from there. And I don't cap any further than that, man, because I love hearing y'all go back and forth, because I did not go to a SWAC school. I did not go to a MEAC school. I marched in an SIAC school. But, you know, I was a screaming machine, man. So having 15 trumpets out there, you know, and I'm a young kid popping double A's, and was still making, you know, still doing all kinds of other stuff. It did not bother me at all that I went to a smaller school. I love going to see other bands play. That's how I got down. You know, so that's how I look at it. But as I stated, man, and I'm fiery. Look, anybody that spends any time around me, that's why Rick is looking that way. Anybody that spends time, I'm a very fiery person. I definitely defend my craft, and I will put my training up against anybody when it comes to it. But I'm just only going to argue so much, man, when it comes down to you can't articulate your point. So I'm like, we're not going anywhere. So you go ahead and stay on that side, and I'm going to continue to press on, because I'm going to do my homework. And that's just how it's going to be.
But the last part of it too, last part too, though, this, Eric and Julie, I know we got to get going. There's a level of comfort in being a band head, because on musical levels, with the conversations that you're talking about, you have to be able to stand in arenas and articulate. Like, one of the things, like, we always talk about representation for our people. So being a part of programs that we weren't normally be a part of, I have to go in there and I have to produce. And Eric, like, y'all, I don't mind saying, Eric Prince, I marched drum corps for 5 years. When I moved on to the cadets, Eric Prince was my first trumpet tech. I had never seen a black man teaching at that level before. And to show up to spring training and see this 6'5" dude sitting there saying, hey, I'm your trumpet tech, I was like, man, that was like astounding to me. But then to see the level of teaching, and it won't just because he was a black man, he was a black man who was an exceptional teacher or an exceptional educator or an exceptional student of what we do. And I think with band headdom, or whatever you want to call it, it's easy for these people who were second and third trumpet players, second clarinet players, you know, third alto saxes, depending on what the orchestration of your band was, to be legitimized standing to people like Julian, who was a freshman that came into Norfolk State double tonguing on E above double C. Now the playing fields are level. Never mind Quan, you talked about experience when you did your, no, it was Maya. Maya talked about SWAC hours. Those people have SWAC hours, but it ain't the SWAC hours at the same level as Maya. So, but now the playing field has been leveled. So I think that it's a level of comfort in being a band head, to where even though I may have sucked on my instrument when I was in school, now my opinion matters just as much as Maya, who was a captain of her section, or Julia, who was double tonguing on E above double C, or people like those of us who did it at a high level. So I think that's that tier 2 you was talking about, Quan. That's tier 1.
So just kind of going off what you were just talking about, Rick. So then the next question would be, do band heads get a voice? Because it seems, and I'm just kind of going off of what I see, it seems like I guess you want to say one of those tiers of band head that Quan is talking about, whatever tier they're on, they seem to be the ones who are more vocal and the ones where people are listening the most. So do band heads get a voice?
If I may, Julian, my thing is this: everybody gets a voice. Everybody, again, everybody's opinion's valid, but it's not valid to the point where, as an educator, I should entertain it if it doesn't hold weight. Like, prime example, you guys know, as collegiate directors, or even myself at this level of high school. We hear what parents say. We hear the comments in the stands, and some of it is just plain ignorant as shit. Now, does it frustrate you at times because many people don't know the struggle? Kind of like Eric was saying, the day-to-day process of, I don't care if a band marches out on the field, turns around, play a stand tune, and march off the field. You don't know what it took for those kids to get them to that point. You don't know. So at the end of the day, what is Maya doing? So
that's what I was looking at. Yo, Maya,
like we don't feel like but we don't know what it took to get those kids organized, to get them to march on the same foot, to turn around, to play this song to the best of their ability. We don't know that. So all of that side comment of, man, back in my day, it was like this. Real talk, fuck your back in the day, bro. It ain't now. And you ain't here helping. Like we hear those things. So your opinion is valid, but not valid to the point where you feel like it's going to alter.
But that's what I be talking about, Quan. Them be the same people, like back in my day. Dude, you played third trombone. You were not relevant. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Quan. It be the people that sucked in the band, and we all know who I'm talking about. There's somebody in every band that stunk, and now they're an expert at telling you which band is good or bad. Or like you said, Quan, ain't never marched now one swag out in anybody band, but got all the opinions, getting invited to events, to judge everything. These are the experts in our field. Not the Alfred Watkins and all these other people who have done band at a high level. That's my problem. Is that we have to, yes, you are absolutely right. Their opinion, they're entitled to their opinion. This is America. You know, we all have a right to an opinion. But just because you have an opinion doesn't mean it's valuable. Especially when it comes to advancing our culture. That's what we're talking about here, y'all. We're not talking about who played loudest in the fifth quarter. We're talking about what is going to make band culture better, and what's going to make this better, that we can pass this to some students after us who are going to take this to the next level. We always think about our damn self. It's always about us. Like, get out of your own way. Build somebody up that's coming up behind you. You want your band to be better? Go recruit some students that can come in and make your band better. Like, it's just a selfish approach too, man. That's another conversation. But go ahead, Julie.
Yeah, man. You was ready to swing on somebody. Somebody wake that dog up.
Hey, man, leave my guy alone, man. He tired. He worked a long day today, man. That dude sat in here and ate food and did nothing, and now he tired. Hey, wake up, man. Wake up. All right, there you go. Here we go.
Maya, can I ask you a question? You got 2 drinks over there. You turn one up that looked pink with your pinky up, and then you chased it with a bottle of water. What you got going on over there?
Mess.
She got a whole cocktail.
Okay, I'm thirsty, and nothing quenches your thirst like water. But I also want to drink my drink too, so I'm living my best life. One of each.
So you took the one that's gonna dry you out first, and then you took the one that's gonna wet you up.
Listen, no, because they cancel each other out. If you boom it, then what goes down is also gonna be cleared out with that water at the same time.
You know, I'm gonna take what you just said, and I'm gonna go ahead and splice that up. That's gonna be a new sound.
And that will sound crazy for everybody that don't even know what I'm talking about. Listen, after spending an hour in that Houston traffic, I think I deserve a little taint or something.
Hey, I agree. You deserve a sip. Don't worry. When we get to that after party, I'm gonna need a sip too. So.
And who said this is guava juice? What you mean? Guava and grapefruit.
Mm-hmm.
With a little orange. Mm-hmm. Actually, I don't know what this is. My best friend's mom actually had this in the refrigerator, so I don't know what it is. To be honest with you,
your best friend's mom trying to get you right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She finds joy in doing that. So
look at God. Mm-hmm. All right, let's keep it moving. No, if you just tuned in, welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about music education, band, HBCU, band culture, and more. Please make sure that when you come in, you smash that like button. We got to get these likes up, man. I'm not seeing my likes matching the numbers of the people that's viewing. Come on, let's get these likes up. It's not that hard to click a like button. Also, please go over to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the network. Also turn on notifications. All right. Let's move on to the next topic. The next topic is going to kind of take a little turn. I think it'll be valid. All right. So here we go. Here's the next topic. Teachers are leaving the classroom, and many are band directors. Here we go. Do secondary band directors have it hard? Do secondary band directors have it hard? Oh, Prince is in. Prince, go ahead, bro. Because you hitting it hard. Go ahead. You got it.
I'll keep it simple because I saw Quan rolling his eyes too. Like, is this a real question? Yes, extremely challenging, man. Feeder programs, keeping kids' interest, parent support, funding is a huge issue right now. Staff's being cut back, man. It's a struggle, man. It's literally a labor of love. You have to love it to continue to do it, and the hours are beyond arduous. And there's no more back how it used to be. There's just how it is now, and you must adapt and adjust in the new environment. So it's very challenging, man. Extremely challenging.
Okay.
Worth it though. Worth it, but it's extremely challenging.
All right. Cool. Quan, do secondary band directors have it hard?
Hell yeah, we got it hard. I mean, hands down. I mean, Prince said a mouthful of parent support. Let's start with there. Number 2, administrative support pending the school that you're at. Funding, another problem. And honestly, something that we don't speak about, the trauma that some of these students actually have. We deal with that as well. I mean, and then when it comes to sometimes pending your community, they want a star-studded show weekly when some of these kids can't walk and chew bubble gum. But they want a Prairie View, Texas Southern show pending the region, you know, that you're at. And you're merely trying to build a band program that's adequate for your standard. That's it. And give these students an opportunity to go to college. That's all you're trying to do. Many of these band directors are having middle school, high school bands, meaning they're high school students with a middle school sound because they're beginning band. And you have to do that. Like, it's so much that goes on to this that I don't even have enough time in the day to explain it. But yes, it's hard. And if you don't love it, and I'm gonna say this and I'll end it. If you're not called for this, honestly, you are going to fail because we don't get paid enough. Many, Julian, you said this, some people's families are being destroyed behind it because you feel as a band director, this is my calling. And sometimes your family is the one that gets the residue of you at the end of the day. Man, it's so much that on a daily basis. And then you just want to teach band, but then you may have to teach music appreciation or music theory or music production. And they think just because you got a music degree, you understand all of the audio in the auditorium. That ain't my business. I'm trying to teach band. Then on top of that, some of these districts don't support professional development for you. It's just the list goes on, but it's hard, bro. It's hard. And making sure that your mental health is in check too.
All right, Prince, you got it. Go ahead.
Hey, you know, I know we talked about the contest this past weekend, man, at Prairie View, but I can tell you now, and again, Rick and I talked about it. I was so happy to see Adams bring Sam Houston from San Antonio to the contest, man, because he and I talked for several weeks. And he wanted to get those kids out there, man. And this brother is working hard So I was just sat there in the parking lot, just in awe with those kids warming up and him supporting them and them getting on that field and performing. Man, that does so much for those kids' morale, and to have a teacher that believes in them, man, and just that little bit of contact and support from a peer standpoint, man, it goes a long way in that encouragement. And it's not about the trophies, but the accomplishment of doing something and taking on an arduous task and getting those kids out there, man. That takes a lot of courage and a lot of belief and a strong teacher to get those kids out there, man. It was great to see them in the parking lot grinding, putting that work on. The field show is a field show for me, man. I love hearing and seeing that education going on out there. And that's why I'm always going to support our people when they're doing it, man. Always. So, yeah.
Yeah, and we definitely made a comment about them when we were there, man, and really just really talking about the fact, because I know, I had a small band program like he did, and I know his numbers are around the same. I know we talked about that a little bit, but one of the things that we just were really, really happy to see is that the kids were having fun, man. At the end of the day, they were just having fun, and that's what was, monumental when we were looking at it from our standpoint. So definitely big shout out to them. Maya, what you think? Do secondary band directors have it hard?
I mean, I would assume so. So I will be the first to say that I have no direct expertise, and I will never try and take the driver's seat from someone who can not only be sympathetic, but be empathetic to the needs. So I would definitely prefer to give both Quan and Prince the floor on that one. But I would assume that, yes, it is quite hard. I mean, even when you're thinking about dealing with all these kids, you're dealing with all these different hormones, trying to keep the students and, trying to keep them focused, trying to hash out whatever, not analytics, but everything that you're trying to get to do for your program in itself. I can assume that in terms of budgeting, that the tools, the resources, the instruments, the environment in which you're able to practice or rehearse in aren't always the best of quality. So that adds an upper challenge to itself. So yeah, I can assume, yes, that the secondary has it the hardest, if we just want to go ahead and push the envelope and say that.
All right, cool. Rick, do secondary band directors have it hard?
I mean, man, I don't really have much more to offer, man. I know the crowd like, what? He ain't got nothing to say. But no, I don't really have much more to offer, man. I think that this question is pretty self-explanatory. Just to give y'all background, I taught at the secondary level for 7 years before I moved to the collegiate level. And when I arrived at my school, we had 45 people in the band total. This was at a middle school. And I was able to, grow the band to 250 from there. But it took years of headache and grinding and all these other things. And then on top of that, for me, Quan, the part that you left out is a lot of band directors also have ambitions of their own. They want to go back to school and get, terminal degrees and stuff like that. And you already talked about family. That's a whole nother conversation. So, yes, the answer to the question is yes. I think some have it harder than others. There are a lot of great programs out there where the kids can afford to pay $2,000 and $3,000 in band fees and have private lesson teachers on staff that come in every day and have a full-time dance teacher that teaches at the school. Some bands have that luxury. Most bands don't. So, I think there's levels to the difficulty. But yes, because the other part of that is the fact that at the end of the day, your job ain't just being a band director. You a daddy, mama, counselor, preacher, everything, man. Like I dealt with so many things, man. Especially having to pray for myself, talking to some of them parents. So yeah, man, it's a very difficult job, and it's not for the weak-hearted, and it ain't for everybody. And I guess the last thing I'll say is some of these schools need to start telling students that this job is not for everybody. I want all black people to go to college. I want all black people to be successful. We need to start being honest with our people. It takes a certain level of talent to do what we do. You can't just show up and just say, hey, I want to be a band director because I like band. And then from there, you have to educate yourself as a student of music to be able to teach students that come from diverse backgrounds. I had a kid, man. I'll never forget this story. I tell it all the time. My last year teaching at the middle school, I had a kid. He wasn't even in band, but I had such a great relationship with the kids at the school. I was able to talk to pretty much anybody in the school and try to, talk them off the ledge. So there was a kid in my school, and I knew he had been facing some challenges in his home life. This kid, man, he was walking around school, y'all, and he had a wad of money. I'm telling y'all, this is a 15-year-old kid walking around with a wad of money this big. And I came from that community, so I already knew what time it was. So I pulled the kid aside. I was like, look, man, you don't need to be flashing your money out here. Some of these old heads out here be knocked you upside your head, and all that stuff, man. Like, chill. I know what you're doing, but relax, And, man, have you ever thought about going to college and, maybe getting out of that environment? This kid looked me in my eyes, y'all, and said, Mr. Brown, I heard what you're saying, but I make more money than you. Like, this kid, man, his mom was on drugs and dealing with some things. He was taking care of his little brother. At that point, he don't care about no Beethoven or how to play a concert F in the center of the pitch. He don't care about that. His thing is, man, where my next meal coming from? So, that's, for those of you that don't know, that's the life we live as band directors, dealing with students that, could care less about what you're talking about because life is real. And we all, and had those type of issues. So, yes, the job is difficult for band directors, but it's because we wear so many hats and have to deal with so many drama and issues and bull that we shouldn't have. So,
I got another question. It was one of those ones that just pop into my head, or randomly. But however, and I was listening to exactly what Rick was saying, but I looked down in the left corner and I just saw Maya again. She was smashing some food off in the corner, and she came back. It was sorry, man. I turned away, and that's what I came back and saw. My bad, Maya. I don't know. It just keeps coming up. So so here's the thing, though. So you guys all said some great things. So that comes back to a question that I had previously. Then, when we talk about the state and or future of university band programs, so what's your thoughts on that? Unknowing, some of the responses that you gave, and even some of the people who agree in the comments. What are your thoughts on that? Anybody?
These issues aren't new. They aren't new. These HBCUs been dealing. See, that's the thing that people don't understand. HBCUs, why do they exist in today's age? We know why they were formed, to give, the sons and daughters of, former slaves and their descendants an opportunity to get a college education. We got that part. Why do they exist today? In my opinion, all right, obviously this is not fact. This is just my opinion. It's because HBCUs give your non-traditional student an opportunity to have that successful route, just like your students that was A and B students in college. I made a couple of mistakes in high school, but I can still get a college degree. And I'm one of those kids, y'all. I was not a great student in elementary school or middle school because I was a visual learner. And, back then, teachers didn't teach like that. You sat there, you took notes, and took a test. There was no visual learning. There was no differentiated instruction back then. So I was one of those students. And through the grace of God and a bunch of people like Eric Prince and like others who invested in me and wanted to see me be successful, I'm now successful. So to answer your question, Julia, at the end of the day, these HBCUs were designed to do that work, in my opinion. So they can take a kid like me and you who came in. I was an all-state trumpet player when I got to Norfolk State. And put us in the same section with some guy who could barely blow his nose. And together we create this great art. Norfolk State, I feel like we were creating art there, man. I know some of our non-HBCU counterparts don't look at what we do as art, but that's their own business. That's stupidity. We were able to take that kid that struggled. And Julian, think about some of the people we taught at PV. We had some students in the band living in the music building. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, how many times I came out of my pocket to feed somebody. But that's because I love my band. So the HBCUs are going to be fine. You know, they give money and they support these students. They're gonna be fine. Go ahead, Brent.
I was saying a lot of us have had before. I get concerned when the music educator is getting ready to student teach and they don't have a lot in their toolbox. And what I mean by that, if you haven't done orchestra or you haven't done chamber ensembles or you haven't taken on a mentor outside of your school of music, and I can't lie, man, that Texas teacher certification test, it is a bear. If you are not trained and prepared for it and you're going on a probationary certificate, a lot of people bust that whole year up because they aren't trained well. So you have to take initiative to be an overall educator because it says early childhood through 12. It doesn't say band, it doesn't say choir, it doesn't say orchestra, it doesn't say mariachi, it doesn't say jet. It says music education. So I think that no matter what the institution, but especially HBCUs, the people that young people I mentor, I'm like, what do you know? And what are you really prepared for outside of I went to school, I did a chamber ensemble, I did marching band, I did my studio, and I student taught. And I'm like, you probably need to get some more mentorship. Not saying you can't get it, but there's a lot of lumps you're going to take. So as Rick said, it's the same stories that have been there. I definitely celebrate the programs that still have their credential to have education degrees, but I still think that going outside of your comfort zone is still a necessity that is needed for success, especially when you're going to apply for these jobs in certain districts. You gotta literally come in and kick that door open and say, I'm gonna make it impossible for you not to give me an opportunity. So that's my standpoint.
But the second part of that, Prince, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, is this, and I know a lot of you can agree with me on this, both here and out there that's listening. These schools have to do right by these students too. When you go to one of these colleges where your whole music education is based around your college's marching band, guess what? You're not going to be prepared to be a band director. I mean, I'm just being real with you. Majority of these school districts, matter of fact, all of them, have a standard of excellence or standards of learning. You have to meet those requirements in order to be an educator. If you don't know who Percy Granger is, if you don't know how to build a major scale and then add the seventh or the ninth, whatever, you're not going to be able to do this at a high level. So you can love these bands as much as you want, but you have to apply yourself when you get that access point into one of these HBCUs. Understand you're there to be a student first, not a member of the Spartan Legion, not a member of the Storm. You are a student of music first. And I think as band directors, we need to do a better job of pushing that message other than, oh, it's Southern Week, let's get ready. You know, that's on us doing a disservice to these kids. Go ahead, Prince.
And I'll say, man, I'm always impressed with the number of band directors at the HBCUs that I run into. Very, very intelligent directors and very capable. I just think it's upon the and I know a lot of them encourage a lot of the music majors to get out there and learn more. I just think you have to take more initiative. Some of the students have to take more initiative to say, hey, I'm going to get outside of my comfort zone, because I'm always impressed with the directors that I meet and their experience, their background, and how much they encourage them. But it's got to be hey, I'm going to take some initiative to educate myself as well. So I think that's where some of the gap is with some of the young folks that I mentor as well. So valid points, bro.
I think to add to both of y'all points, when you're in college and you're just going through, those motions, you're really ignorant to the real professional world of what you're really about to face. Like for me, when I was at PV, I'm like, hey, I'm going to learn my percussion, my percussion studies. I'm going to do that. I know I want to be a band director. I'm going to take my applied lessons and I'm going to get out here and build the band. I was wrong because I had to learn how to suffer on how to build the band. I had to learn and suffer through picking curriculum. I'm a percussion is my principal instrument, but I have to teach woodwinds and all of those different things. So how like it's so many levels to being a band director. I think that's what really, not to go back to the last question, but pisses us off about the band head comments is because you don't know the struggle of building a band program. And honestly, we must, like you said, Rick, we must tell our students the truth. At the end of the day, 9 out of 10, you're going to have to build a program. You're not going to walk into a program that's already established. That's why I feel like the student teaching process is flawed. You're walking into a situation that's the band director has possibly been there for years. They have their systems in place, and you just show up at 7:30 in the morning. You have your band practice, and then you go home. But you didn't see the struggles of the years on how to create parent flyer letters and how to create dues for band, and if this child can't pay them, how do I set up fundraisers? You have no clue about that. So once you start building your band program, your focus is on blow that hoe, but you don't even have a band to blow. Like, all of those things is what honestly I feel that HBCUs we fall short of. However, the biggest thing about at HBCUs we do well, we build character. We do that well, but then we lack on the other side of professionalism and the blueprint on how to build the program. And I think real talk, that's eventually going to have to be a book that's coming from a doctor of some sort, or a person with credibility on how to build band programs, because you're going to have to. If you look at schools around the city of Houston, at one point was thriving. Jack Yates is a new band director there now. He's rebuilding that program. I've been at Worthing. I was the 7th band director in 4 years. If you look at some of these other feeder programs, you got to build shit around here. And most people, they don't want to build. And we're not saying that at the HBCUs, but you're going to have to build. So yeah, you may play drums, but you need to learn, pick up this trumpet. You have to pick up this woodwind. You're going to have to teach yourself. You're going to have to teach yourself syllables and how to shape your mouth and all of that stuff like that. The shit that band heads don't tell you online. So if you're not doing that, you're going to be a trash ass band director. And if you can't humble yourself to say, Rick, man, I need help on this. Really, how do I get my kids here? Okay, they playing a grade 1. How do I get them to a 1.5 or grade 2 at this point? Man, matter of fact, I don't know who Percy Granger is. Tell me who he is. Who is Ann Magenti? Like, give me some suggestions. If you're not doing that, you want to stay in your same seat and you want to be a band head. But you got to build, bro.
Boy, Ann Magenti, I ain't heard that name in years, bro. I used to love her music when I taught middle school.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, hold up. Sorry about that, Quan. I got to give you that, bro. If I had the little church organ, Daddy, I would have hit it. Don't worry, I'm gonna have a church organ next week. Man, this conversation is actually taking me on another way. So,
hey, hold on, Julie. I got to give a shout out, man, because one of our first supporters, bro, just logged in. My Ricky's sister Tina was on the first show, man. She's been supporting us since the first show, bro. So I got to give her that big up because she sent me a message after our first show and was on it, man. So kudos to you. Tina Johnson, what's up, homie? Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting us.
Yeah, man. And shout out to Derek, by the way. Derek Walker. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what he just said is the same thing that I've been saying for years. During COVID, I saw several different like arranging competitions, which is awesome. But my question is, can you really go teach that to the band right now for today?
Man, we we that topic all day, right, man? But
hey, you hear how hard Quan hit that mute button? He dropped the mic on us. He dropped the mic on us, Doc.
All right, man, we got to keep it rolling. We got to keep it rolling. So if you just tuned in, man, welcome everybody to Talk That Talk, where we have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, HBCU, band culture, music education, and more. Please make sure as soon as you come in, man, go ahead and smash that like button, man. Let's get these likes up. We want our likes to match our viewers. Shoot, we want them shooting out the roof. So go ahead and click that like button. Also, if you're not watching us on YouTube, it's okay. If you're watching us on Facebook, go over to the YouTube and subscribe to the page. If you're already on the YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's get these notifications, or turn on your notifications, and you will be updated when we do all of our uploads. All right, here we go. Also, we're getting into the last topic. If all of y'all who was in the comments, man, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the chat, or open up the room so you guys can come in and y'all can go ahead and give us your feedback. So I'm gonna put the link in the comment section, as soon as we go through this last topic. So just be ready for that link. Just remember your cameras must be on. All right. So I ended up, I had one topic, but the way y'all were talking had my brain going, right? And so I know that Quan, you're not from here, but you're a Texas teacher. Prince, you a Texas teacher. Maya, you come up under the Texas system. I know I'm a Texas teacher. Rick, you've been here. So I got to ask this question just based on the conversation that we were having. Has the requirements for Texas music education become outdated with the change in culture? Has the requirements for Texas music education become outdated with the change in culture? I guess Rick, you got it?
Yeah, hell no. And I think that's the problem. We keep changing the requirements so we can, because the band level has gotten less. A kid, I'll say it again, a kid being able to play a concert F at this high school, that high school, is the same. And to be honest, if more bands focus more on fundamentals, then like Quan said, blowing that hole, we would have a lot more better bands in the state of Texas if we're talking about things. And the thing about it is this. Like, I want to go to Maya. I'm going to stop talking because I'm interested in what Maya has to say, because you could teach somebody how to dance. Like, the standards of dancing, they don't change. They haven't changed. Like, Baryshnikov danced the same way that what's her name? Misty Copeland danced. Who, Alvin Ailey, the techniques are there. It's just different styles of doing the dance. We don't have different styles anymore. If you don't sound like this band, you suck to a lot of people. And like we talked about, these middle schools out here playing marching band music. You ought to be ashamed of yourself as a band director. If you got middle schoolers out there blowing, they can't even keep the aperture in place. And they out there trying to play fortissimo, out of tune. And then you got all these people that call themselves band heads supporting that man. Boy, that middle school cranking. Okay, that's great. What grade level is that middle school playing? Are they playing grade 3, which is on level for a middle school band? Oh, they over there playing Hot Cross Bun still. Oh, that's what's up. Congratulations. Like, we do a disservice to these students on every level. That's a leadership thing once again, Julie. No, the standards are not outdated. Do every band, I think that band directors need to make a decision on where their band needs to fall, but build expectations that their bands can meet. Yeah, you may not be able to play grade 3 this year, but go back to grade 2, play the hell out of that grade 2, and maybe throw one grade 3 in there that year that gets your students like, okay, now we got something to attain or aspire for. So Maya, what do you think?
Well, you just think that.
No, like, you know how with dancers, technique is technique. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, certain places don't use as much technique as others, but at the end of the day, to do a releve or to do a plie or whatever, that's the same at this school as that school. So I think, how does that, equate to what we do as musicians?
I mean, that's very correct, but I think that goes back to the issue of things being cyclical, right? So if you're in a collegiate band, and just like with student teaching, if you're not equipped with what you need to be able to progress forward to what your career goals or aspirations are, and that does entail going back or being a secondary teacher or whomever, the same thing applies in dance. You can say, like, sure, I have the basics down, I have the training, I have the ballet and all of those different things, but let's take it another direction. Just like we have the conversation of field show versus stands, what is capturing the audience? And in a day and age where band heads, in the sense of those persons who talk behind the camera or those persons who egg on, blow that hoe, that's what matters. So a lot of that attention is being taken in both the band side as well as the auxiliary side. Right now, it does not matter about, not necessarily the analytics, but it does not matter about the starting from the ground up, the basics. It's just simply about the show, the fascination of it all. Ooh, she bucking. Ooh, she wiping the floor with it. Ooh, they just did this. Look how intricate this looks. Nobody's saying, oh, look, they just did that. Leaping second. oh, they just only a certain person is doing that. But the masses are like, are they shaking ass or not? Are the outfits skimpy or not? That's really what matters. So I feel you, but I mean, in a sense, that's going to continue because of that cyclical idea. And as long as things are being patted on the back, those things will continue. We will always, what we allow will continue. And until we stop that, everything is downhill from now. And that's why forums and conversations such as this are so important, because maybe we're in a sense of reach one, teach one. Maybe there is someone out there who does not necessarily have the grandest expertise in their wheelhouse, but maybe this will reinforce the narrative that it doesn't stop here. There's much to be learned. There is much that can be acquired, and there's more that we can grow from. So maybe I didn't answer your question, and please re-ask me if not. But to me, that's just there's so many things on this. And just like in the dance world, I believe it's very, very same when it comes to the end. Because, I mean, right is right, wrong is wrong. Attention is attention, and we the blacks like what? We like it loud, we like it proud. we just like the look of the thing. Nobody really cares about what it takes to get there.
All right, Quan. Has the requirements for Texas music education become outdated with the change in culture?
No, it has not. I'll answer your question first. So no, I don't think it's not. I think it's actually lowered, in my opinion. And as a person, for my story is when I first graduated from Prairie View, my focus was getting a job. So I wasn't certified, honestly, for I think 5 or 6 years. And it felt like a bad monkey on my back. I'm not gonna lie, to the point where one of my professors was like, say, don't come up to Prairie View until you get that certification, because you're better than that. And she held my foot to the fire. Now, when I asked for, resources and whatnot, they were there to help. I enrolled myself into the Region 4 program, procrastinated, had test anxiety, so forth and so on. But bless God, I endeavored through, and I'm a fully certified teacher. As well as I became fully certified, as well as I attained my master's degree in music education as well from Adams State. So I don't think that the requirement is outdated. I think the curriculum needs, tweaks here and there in regards of including everyone, but the requirements, no, because it's too many people walking around saying they're band directors, bro. It's too many people walking around saying, for me specifically, they're percussion instructors, but they're not building kids, or they're not giving their kids the opportunity to even have a chance to shot at a scholarship or going to college. I think we need to take more pride into this elite fraternity of our own self, saying that we're bandsmen and building better bands. Like, that's a problem. Everybody can't be a band director. And I saw the comment that the Derek gentleman said there's no such thing as bad bands, it's only bad band directors. And when y'all made that first comment, I had to go back and self-reflect on myself. What am I not teaching my students that could potentially hurt or harm them? That's not a person that's arrogant. That's not a band head. No, you're trying to be a person that perfects your craft. And at the end of the day, them requirements is not outdated. That shit is hard. And honestly, when you step into those circles, they treat you that way. And they should treat you that way, because you didn't require and meet those specific standards. You just walking around here playing one. I'm a father, so I hate when other fathers act like they real daddies and you not. Be a real daddy, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I don't want nobody walking around here saying, yeah, I'm a band director. So what do you do? So, what are you teaching slurs? What are your technique? Yada, yada, yada. Nah, man, we just playing Cold-Hearted Snake. Man, get the hell out of my face, bro. Like, these are the issues that we're facing. But unfortunately, the band heads has the masses and the loudest voice. And it's the ones like Rick saying, the Alfred Watkins, that are not being mentioned, is because the band heads is only concerned about music from August to December. They don't speak about concert from January to the end of the school year, because they'll turn around and say January to the end of February is parade season. But what are we doing? One of the worst feelings that I had in the world, and I'm in with this, I was preparing my students for an audition, and they were going to the audition, and I knew that they weren't ready for it. Worst feeling in the world, because I, as a director, didn't prepare my student for that. I failed that kid, and I walk around with that chip on my shoulder to this day, because I never want another student to walk into an audition and not be ready. Some of us as band directors really need to ask ourselves the questions: Are we really doing the best for our students? And if you're not, improve.
I'm sorry, I just gotta say one thing.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, friends and family, you know I love you very much, but I'm sorry, Quan, you brought your bag with you today, my friend, and you stepping knee deep in it. Now this is your show today, my friend. Like, you really get into it. So I'm with you when you're right. Always with you when you're right. No disrespect to anybody else. I'm just saying I have to give major kudos because Quan is really in his bag tonight.
She giving you your flowers, brother. All right.
I agree.
Prince, has the requirements for Texas music education become outdated with the change in culture?
No, standards are standard, man. They're all based off of excellence. You go to TMEA or some of these music conferences and stuff like that, or some of these affluent programs, and you need to be comfortable in your own skin when you go in there. And it's not because they are adjusting based off what the trends are, what the culture says. It is a standard of excellence. That's part of why I view myself as a professional music educator. So that way I'm comfortable in my own skin. Case in point, Derek Walker's on here, watched his band in the parking lot at Prairie View. Amazing. We have Texas UIL state championship this week right here in San Antonio, right up the street from me. And BOA Super Regional, Bands of America Super Regional right here in San Antonio this weekend. And we just hosted 3 bands here at my stadium this week. And all 3 bands came from around the state. Don't look like us. Came from around the bay, and every one of them said, "Hey, can you take 15 minutes to work with my band on this? Hey, can you take my bass clarinets and my baritone saxes work on this?" And I just let them come use the stadium. So what I'm saying is, it's a matter of, no, it has not changed. The culture can always evolve, but the standard of excellence that basically is based off of the principles, the philosophies, and the pedagogy, that should never be compromised. It should never be compromised because it's injustice to the students when you do it that way. And that's why you need to be able to, no matter what the stage is that's required, you need to be able to assimilate yourself. And one of the things I think that sometimes we get confused is when we put our egos into place and don't deal with our real deficiencies as an educator and what we don't know, and we try to suppress that instead of finding that person that has that skill set and maybe not make it our strength, but at least bring it to where it's neutral so you can speak on it, so that way you can actually help train your kids, because in the end, that's what it's all about, is what we deliver to them to help build them up and help improve their skill sets. So it's never gonna change for me, man. That's how I look at it.
All right, cool, man. Man, I think all of these were some great responses. I really could go a little bit more into that, but we got guests coming in, so I want to make sure we get these guests in and let them say what they need to say, and we can go ahead and hear from them. So let's welcome Kenny to the show.
Kenny, what's up, bro? Hey, no, Kenny, don't say a word. This brother, man, I gotta give y'all a story about this brother. Kenny, I reached out to you, bro. You march Blue Coats, right? Did you march Blue Coats? Kenny, you muted me.
Yes. Okay, yes. I march Blue Coats.
I gotta tell y'all about this brother, because this brother is actually, look, he's looking confused. He's actually the reason why I march drum corps. And he doesn't even know it. And I reached out to you. You and I, Prince, matter of fact, Eric Prince hooked us up, like connected us. I'm the one that texted you, bro. So Quan, in 1998, bro, look, I'm getting emotional because this guy is the reason why I got into the activity, and Eric Prince linked us up.
I have never seen Rick Van Gordon.
Bruh, in 1998, bro, because this brother don't realize it, but he helped me have the life that I have, man. And I'm really like excited, man. Like I haven't talked to him in over 20 years. In 1998, man, was my second time ever seeing drum corps. Me and my friend Calvin we were aspiring trumpet players, and we were like, man, we going over to the bus after the show because the show was incredible, man. Like Kenny was on the sideline wailing, man. I was like, oh my God, bro, we going over to the buses. So we went over to the buses, and I had my mouthpiece with me. Kenny gave me a lesson in the parking lot. He let me play a soprano in the Blue Coats in 1998. Gave me a lesson in the parking lot, and I marched drum corps the next year because of that brother. So Kenny, you probably don't even remember that, bro, but you have had a huge effect on my life, man. And I thank Eric for linking us up last year, but kudos to you, bro. Thank you, man, for that lesson in the parking lot and just being a good brother, man.
6 words, baby. 6 words. I appreciate it. It's good to actually get to meet you because I remember that message on Facebook or whatever. And I agree with what y'all saying. The standard of playing an instrument, no matter what it is, just can't change based on the dropping standard of a culture that we have. I mean, think about it. I tell kids all the time, I feel sorry for them because they don't have music on the radio anymore. We're the last of the generations that heard live bands on the radio. Everything they have now is computer generated. So they don't know what it's like to have music. They don't even sing nursery rhymes. Like the idea of singing Three Blind Mice or One Little, Two Little, Three Little Indians, as racist as that is. They don't have a concept of just singing. And so we're trying to work with that. And what I refuse to do is I'm not going to drop that standard that made me be an educator myself to get to this kid. This kid, if he wants to be a music major, he either need to step up or he need to do something different. But it's my job to move him to want to do what we do. But if that's not what he's trying to, or she's trying to do, you know, hey, they got to go do something else. But I just have a high regard for what we do as music educators, and I can't drop that for nobody.
Bet, man. That's 100%. I can't even argue with that. And I'm pretty sure because I'm looking at everybody on the panel and they just giving the nod, Daddy. So I'm pretty sure everybody agrees with it, man. Any more thoughts that you got on anything else we've talked about?
The other thing is, I don't know if you saw it in the chat that I put, but I had a fine arts director, and I'm not going to call his name. He's in the Dallas area, though. Asked me if there was just not enough Black music majors, because I pointed out to him the disparity of you can't find 5 head Black band directors in DFW outside of inner city. We're bigger than Houston. Our Metroplex area is bigger than Houston, and you can't find 5 Black guys that run a band. That's a shame.
I'm gonna just say this. I'm in the DFW area, and you ain't lying. That's all I'm gonna say. You ain't.
Julian, I know where you are actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know where you are.
Okay.
Yeah, you down southwest.
Okay. All right. Cool. Man,
So yeah, I know where you are, but that's a shame. And so when I applied to a specific school district for 12 years, and I have never yet got an interview. Now, I've won several marching band contests. We've won several jazz band contests around the state. I'm a brass player, but I actually taught drumline for 10 years, won the NTCA championship with a drumline that never did it before, and yet I cannot get called for a job interview in the suburbs. And when the guy explained it to me what it is, he says that, hey, one of the things that they look for is people who have worked in high profile job situations like your Duncanvilles, your Coppells, your Keller Centrals. And if you don't have that on your resume, they don't want to look at you. Isn't that the definition of racism? You're the gatekeepers of all of those jobs and you're not letting Black people in them. So you're using a system to keep us out, no matter how qualified we may be.
Hey man, once again, if I had them church chords on there, boy, I'd be playing them for you right now because you are preaching right now. You know, look, I'm looking at Derek. Hello, somebody. Yes, hey, look, there is not enough I could say about how truthful you are really speaking right now, because I've told my story many a times, but I have very similar stories, bro. So 100% I agree with you, man. You gotta hit me up, man. Go if you go into the description, man. My information is in there, man. Just hit me up, bro. We gotta link up, man. Since you know where I at, man, we gotta talk. And then you got my best friend on here crying like, man, shoot, yeah, we gotta talk.
Hey man, I'm just glad. You know what? He don't know how much he made my day when I found out that when he told me the story about that, because I somewhat remember that after the show, him coming by and like that was cool, but I didn't realize that had that effect on him until this is 20 years later.
And it's crazy. And it's crazy. Oh, I'm sorry. It's crazy because at the time, me and my friend Calvin, when we came over, Blue Coats was his favorite drum corps. I ended up marching cadets. Cadets were my favorite drum corps, so I went up going there. But I ended up for the last 9 years spending the last 9 years with the Blue Coats. Man, now I moved on I accepted a captain hand position. But to go from that dude is the reason why I marched drum corps to teaching in the corps he marched and winning the corps' first world championship, it meant something, bro. So Kenny, man, you my guy, man. I thank you for that lesson, bro, and thank you for just being a good brother and looking out for a young brother that was looking for some guidance at the time, bro.
Hey man, I thank you for even bringing it to my attention. There's nothing better for an educator of any kind than to have one of his students or somebody that he just was influential to come back and tell them that. So whether you believe it or not, I think you did more for me than I did for you. So.
Man, once again, man. Yeah, man, just get my information, man. We got to hook up, man. And appreciate you, Kenny, man. We got to bring somebody else in, but I appreciate you, brother.
Before we do that, I'd like to comment on that. I want to take that one step further, just in the sense of this past weekend, the U.S. bands, there was an area of opportunity that I felt, and especially Brownie with you saying that I think we have to do more with what we have. So this past weekend, I did see some of the DMs or some, I want to call them Category 5, some of them, but they're not Category 5 this season. But some of the drum majors from PV, I saw them actually interact, with Cedar Hill. I would have liked to see so much more from that, whether it was band. Now, I understand we're in a panini, a pandemic, a pandemonium, all of that. I understand that, that has a bearing on things. However, it's those things that can make or break somebody's career, right? So we were talking about how we ended up in the situations that we did. I became a Black Fox because I had close interactions with Black Foxes, and they made me want to aspire, and they locked that aspiration in, right? And so for you to say that this man took a simple 5 minutes, however long it was, to be able to be personable, to be able to be a human being, a humble human being, and be able to reach one and actually pay it forward, that's big, and we have to continue to do that. And I think that that's part of the solution of fixing this cyclical issue that we have, right? Who's to say that one conversation or seeing somebody in shoes that you're trying to level up to, be able to say, hey, like, good job, y'all did a good job, or what are you working on? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? What's your thought process? The moment that we become unteachable, or the moment that we are unwilling to teach and aspire someone else, is the moment that we need to hang our hats up. And I think that's an issue as to why a lot of these band directors or band programs are failing, because we don't have those persons who share that same willingness. So I would just like to say that that's definitely something that I would like to see, and that is necessary, and that we need to bring back. Even when it comes rival bands, it doesn't even matter. Just being able to open your mouth and show appreciation, and to be able to hear and be a lending ear for someone else could do so much. And yes, sister, we in a sandwich and a panini. It's crazy out here.
Sandwich. All right, yeah, that's definitely dope, man. And I definitely 100% agree. All right, let's welcome Bailey. Bailey.
Yo.
It's Big Tiga. With the exclusive.
Hey, this is my exclusive. Hey, what's going on, everybody, man? Hey, once again, man, I'm enjoying the show every week. I'm here when I'm done kissing babies and stuff. Every week I'm here. I'm enjoying the show. Um, Impactful show tonight. Quan, I was on the organ and E flat right behind you, bro. The whole night. You was giving them the word. You know what I mean? First of all, screw everybody. And talking about what y'all qualifications are. Man, go sit in the corner and read your Bible or something. Just like go pray. Just shut up somewhere. Like, jeez, man. People just be in their feelings with no facts. Just go be quiet. Feelings with no facts. I'm over there. I don't want to talk about that. Two things that I was thinking about as I was listening to the show tonight, man. Education over accommodation. That's the first point. Education over accommodation. We have become more like we run in a hotel. We ain't running a hotel. This is not McDonald's or Burger King. You can't have it your way here. The standard is the standard. It is what it is. Work your way up to the standard. It's simple. The second thing is, Rick said it. I think Quan said it. We doing a lot of students a lot of injustice, man. A lot of students, a lot of injustice, especially at the collegiate level where they are not being prepared for what's out there. They are not. And Quan said, you got to build from scratch, and you got to be able to articulate to your principal what you're doing. I'm building from scratch, and you can't expect me to go perform for every Tom, Dick, and Harry that contact you because you have a music teacher now. It's not going to happen. The middle school marching band thing, just atrocious. The last thing I thought about was, in terms of us doing students that is an injustice, is the fact that we have expectation without information. We have these grandiose expectations from people who, maybe 21, 22, just coming out of college and have gotten no experience. And we have these big plans for these people, and we give them no information. Just being out here, man. And of course, I'm not an American citizen, so I came from the Bahamas. And before I was into teaching, I was a traveling musician with military bands. So I got to perform all over the place and travel for free. And when I tell my story to my students, they're like, "Wow, we can do that." And I'm like, "Yeah." And there's no exposure for these people. Information, like while you in your sophomore or junior year, you could be teaching out of school, getting paid maybe $25,000, $30,000 a year as a paraprofessional, and you can be getting hours in your area of in your degree area, getting paid, getting hours, so that when you come out of school and when you have your degree, not only do you have the experience, you have some years that you can put on paper, right? You know some stuff, and that increases how much money you could be making. Like, these are conversations that I never heard. This is information that nobody ever told me. I went out and found it for myself. But then again, when I was getting my degree, I was already in my 30s. So my drive was different than an 18, 19, 20-year-old. You know what I mean? And then after that, I went on to get my master's degree. So I understood networking because I had already worked as a professional, as a musician, playing and performing and doing all this stuff for years before I came back to school. But man, we gotta give information before we have the expectation. You know what I mean?
And the second part of that is this, and I want to be perfectly clear with this, baby, because I think you're absolutely right, bro. For all you young band directors out there, or all you people that, you have your favorite bands, aspiring to have your band sound like Southern is a great thing. Southern is a great band. Southern is one of the best bands in the country. All right, they are. Do I think that they're the best all the time? No, I do not. But that is a great aspiration because they are a great band. But before you can get your band out there blowing their face off, sounding bad in an attempt to sound like Southern, who doesn't sound like your band, they don't, sorry. the first thing your kids need to do is the fundamentals. Build the armature. Be able to keep the aperture in place. Be able to have a focused airstream to play one note in tune. We can get to two. Let's start with one. All right? That is how you make your band sound like Southern. Not getting a bunch of babies in a room, telling them to blow as hard as they can, and whatever comes out, hey man, y'all did it. No. Those students at Southern are some of the most talented musicians in Black college. I call Southern the Blue Devils of college band. They get more talent than all these schools. I mean, let's just be real. With the exception of maybe FAM, they get more talent than everybody. So their students coming and being able to do the things they asked them to do. You have to be focused and you have to be disciplined. Before you can get here, you can't put the cart before the horse. Before you get here, you have to make sure that you start here and do the process of getting there. And if we can just train these young band directors then I think we're going to be doing the culture a huge service, and you'll start to see a lot more great bands, man. So thanks, Bailey, man, because I think you hit it right on the head, bro.
Yes, sir.
Accidentally muted myself, but yeah, Bailey, man, appreciate you, bro. You know we always appreciate you. But one thing I'm gonna say to you, dog, if you don't change that battery in that goddamn smoke alarm, if I hear that beep, one more beep.
Now, see what I'm doing. What you don't understand is I'm practicing with a metronome. It's just very, very.
There you
different.
go. There you go. You better switch it up, man.
I'm eating my chicken and counting my money. See.
All
All right,
bro.
man.
You know.
All right, bro.
All right, go.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Everybody, let's go ahead and welcome Kari to the panel.
What's going on, y'all?
Kari gonna be the fan favorite, man. You gonna come up every week, man. You know, hey.
Yes, every week. I mean, I love to hear y'all talk about everything because, like, once again, it's an education session for me. I'm not a band director or anything like that, but the thing is, am I a lover of music? Absolutely. And the thing is that, of course, you know, I know a lot of aspects of music, but will I say, do I know all aspects? No. So this has been just as much, it's educational for me. But what I wanted to really talk about was, like, when it comes to the teaching, when it comes to the requirements for those who go ahead and they those teaching, the people going through student teaching. As you guys probably know, I am an administrator, you know, and as you guys spoke about so eloquently, that there's a lot of aspects to being a band director, to being an effective band director. Let's do that. That are not just, hey, here's the music, here's the parts, because you have to learn how to build things. I mean, like, you're going to have to deal with business. You're going to have to deal with education and things like that, multiple facets. But a lot of people, they only learn that one thing, and then they think, hey, I got this degree, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get this job. And that's not true. You know, like, there's things that they need to learn. And that student teaching, or that student teaching part, that's where they should be getting, like, a taste of a lot of those different things, and they're not. So I really think that during that student teaching, like, it either needs to be restructured during that time, or it needs to be lengthened, you know, to provide that other part to it. Because I feel, sorry, go ahead.
Rick? No, I was just gonna say, bro, I don't think it needs to be lengthened. I think the time is fine. One thing I did when I did my student teaching that I think would be beneficial to a lot of our young teachers is I purposely put myself at an excellent school, which was my middle school experience, and a school that was struggling, and that was my high school experience. So I wanted both sides of it. Like Quan said, everybody wants this program. Nobody wants these programs, and the one way down here that can barely keep the lights on, better yet, put a band on the field. So I made sure, Kari, that I got both experiences. Because ultimately, you choose. In Virginia, where I did my student teaching, you chose your experience. You reached out to the school in your portfolio process, and you chose the schools you want to go to. So I made that decision. So I think that's something that can come from the student themselves. Stop trying to aspire to here. You got to start somewhere. So yeah, go ahead, Brian. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, like I agree with you. But one thing I'm going to say is that not everybody has that tenacity that you do. You know, like a lot of people, you know, they get that piece of paper and they're like, "Hey, let's go." I live in, and I'm gonna be real here. I live in the Dallas Metroplex area. I live in Louisville ISD. All right, and I actually, it was very weird. There's a lot of students because I work at University of North Texas. And the thing is that I have a lot of students that I've either taught in a drum and bugle corps or taught, you know, whatever private lessons or whatever else that are at that were at UNT and that are now these band directors. And they see me and they will not talk to me at all. They won't hire me for different things or whatever else because I don't fit within a certain construct. And that's terrible. It really is. So that's kind of going to Quan's point before, you know, like when he was talking about, you know, hey, you have to go ahead pretty much fit this mold or whatever else. And even though like Quan has all these great attributes and these, if you want to look at a resume, you know, he has these different things, and then just not to get a call, you know, like, hey, you know, here you are, you know, like let me go ahead and we're always talking about we want change or we want to go ahead and have a different aspect of learning, but not to go ahead and go, hey, you know what, like, okay, this person does have these other tools, other things that we do not have. Let's go ahead and hear what they have to say. It may not be what we desire, you know, or what I'm used to, whatever else. But the thing is, maybe I need to be uncomfortable. And that once again is another learning aspect that people don't have, that you have to learn to be uncomfortable. And once again, if people don't have that flexibility that Rick, Quan, most likely Maya, and, you know, like do not have, then in truth, you know, that's, to me, that's a band director that's going to be flying by the seat of its pants. It's going to be basically flying the plane and building it at the same time.
To add to that, you know, we need to begin holding these fine arts directors accountable as well, because one of the worst experiences that I've ever had. So I'm at this point in my career, I'm fully certified. I've built middle school programs. I work with high schools, whatnot. I work with drum and bugle corps with Julian at Compass. And I was like, okay, I'm ready for this high school thing. I sat down, gave my resume to the administration, speaking to them, asking them questions, so forth and so on. While I'm interviewing, the fine arts director has already taken my resume, put it underneath his pile, already looking at the person that he wanted already because it was at a similar school, where he graduated from as well. I'm getting questions like, so do you understand the UIL process? So do you understand, like, you know, low key, like asking me these dumbass questions like I don't know what I'm talking about. And while he's saying, I'm gonna give you a call, I'm looking at him message on his iPad to the other administrators, yeah, we're gonna go with this person from this job already. Like I've experienced that. So we have to hold, and the districts need to hold the fine arts directors accountable, especially to ensure that we have diversity within these schools and that they have people that look like them but may not come from that background. One of my mentors is Eric Jimenez. I must say, Eric is a great band director, and it seemed like he got the Midas touch. Whatever he touches turns into gold. But he truly believes in including all of his students, ensuring that these kids get the best instruction possible. And we need more band directors like him, Rick, so forth and so on. But these fine arts directors, honestly, some of them, they are stuck in that good old boy system and they don't want to change either.
But the other part of that, Quan, is this. And I know we got to go, June, but the other part, I think what you just said, Quan, is part A. Part B of that same exact thing, while holding the teachers and the fine arts directors accountable, we also have to understand that the reason why a lot of these fine arts directors feel the way they feel is because if you got a bunch of people coming from a school and they have a whole line of unsuccessful programs, it becomes, they might not know about that school, but it becomes this school is putting out this product and this school is up here and putting out this type of product. So while, you know, what you said is absolutely true, we also must understand that these institutions need to be putting out qualified teachers that are doing great jobs, because the people, like we said, paying it forward. There's a group of people coming behind you. And if you put a sour taste in these people's mouth, then that group of students who may be 10 times better than you are automatically grouped into that same category because you did a terrible job as a band director. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about improving the experience for all black people. This show is about black people. Sorry, y'all, it is. Everybody here is black. We want to push our culture forward. So it's not about you. And once we remember that, Quan, and get back to those old ways that we used to do things where we all cared about one another, then we're going to be in a better place, bro, for real.
And I know that, but in the interview, he said that he was like, which school doesn't have a good fine arts program? He was like, I know it's one of them. It's either this one or that one. And I was like, well, it ain't mine. But it just felt so uncomfortable to the point where it was like, bro, I know you're not hiring me.
Man, first of all, I just want to say, man, Kara, you're absolutely right. And we definitely appreciate your voice, man. You, like I said, you need to try to be the first guest every time, man. You got to be the first one, the first voice we hear, bro. But nah, man, we definitely appreciate what you're talking about and what you're saying.
Oh, let me guess. He needs to be the first because of that mess y'all share in common.
I really wasn't even going from that. I was going for the fact that he's just been regular every single time. He's been consistent. So that's what I was saying. But you go,
and I realized Corbett shirt on. Get out. Car, get out. Golly.
So much heat. But nah, Car, we appreciate you, bro. Most definitely. Most definitely.
All right, well, I appreciate y'all. Even though, even though Rick made that off-color remark. And that off-color is purple.
Yeah. Hate. Just hate. Hate.
It's all right, though. All right, check y'all out.
But all right, bro. I will say this, just kind of going back on what Carl was talking about and Quan, what you all were talking about. There's one person on this panel, outside of the one person that's in the comment section right now who knows my story. And he knows every single one of them stories that I done had, and some of them are very similar. But I definitely will say that he's absolutely right too. Rick is absolutely right as far as we also have to change the product that we let out. That definitely matters. It 100% matters, because people can get a sour taste in their mouth and they ain't gonna want to taste that again. You know what I'm saying? So that's a that can be a whole completely different conversation. But definitely, like I said, Rick knows my story in and out. So he's heard me talk about some of those same things. But real quick, I want to take time to, well, first of all, that was our last guest. But hey, Rick, do me a favor. Turn your head to the right real quick. Can you do that? Oh man, I saw you hit it earlier and I was like, man, that looked like the Obama daddy.
He clean though. He clean.
It's clean. He probably got that Beijing on, but it's clean though. It's clean. But yeah, yes, we can. Real quick though, man, I definitely want to send a big shout out to Miss Parker, man. Love Miss Parker. I didn't want to do it through text.
Mama.
I wanted to do it live on here because I wanted her to know how much I appreciate her. So we appreciate you, Miss Parker, for real. And we definitely love you.
It's okay for you to call her mama. That's what we call her. You see Tina put it in the comments. Hey mom. That's mama.
No, because my mama ain't here. My mama ain't here. My rookie mama's in here. So I gotta keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? So Robin's my mama. So I gotta be real.
Your mama is in here.
I didn't. Yeah, see that? I'm just saying I gotta show love to Miss Parker. But you know, Robin is my mama. That's why she the moderator, because she in here running things. That's what I got to do. But I know I sent you guys this message. I wanted to ask in the comment section. Because you know, I really appreciate what we did and what we were able to do for the US bands. And yeah, she's my grandmama. What we were able to do at the US bands with the show up and show out on the hill. And one of the things that I wanted to ask you know, our viewers and things like that. I know I asked you guys personally, would any of our viewers like to see us go live at the Boombox? I just wanted to know that if you want to see us go live at the Boombox, like live 100%, do a show from the Boombox, just put a 1 in the comment section. Just put a 1 in the comment section if you want to see us go live. And I just want to just see this for a second. While we're waiting to see what's going to happen, I want to go ahead and do our normal thing that we always do. I need to get a new one, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. All seasoning. We want to make sure that we show love to all season, a little love. We want to go ahead and make sure that you pick up that seasoning. He got some of the best seasoning out there, man, and it's definitely top notch. And for what I know, it's all natural. All right, so he's using natural ingredients. We just hooked up some lemon pepper cauliflower wings. Yes, I said it, cauliflower wings last night, but they was on the lemon pepper. No, was that last night? It was like before last. But anyway, he got that lemon pepper.
Trash.
Don't be hating, man. Them cauliflower wings be hitting. But we used his lemon pepper last night, man. So definitely go ahead and pick up a little love all seasoning. Go ahead and look that up. Also, exclusively HBCU. Exclusively HBCU.com. You got a lot of good apparel over there. So you want to check that out. If I'm not mistaken, they got Greek paraphernalia, they got university paraphernalia. So I want to make sure that we talk about that as well. All right. Let me go back to the comments. Well, only if you say Southern wins. Let's see.
Come on, Derek. You too good of a band director to have us up here lying. No, I was playing. But no, man. We ain't biased, Derek. If they win, we're gonna give them the love. If not, sorry.
All right, so this is what I'm looking at right now. I got a lot of ones in there. I don't know, Quan, what did you see? I want to make sure we all seeing the same thing. Quan, what'd you see? Did you go ahead?
See what, the ones?
Yeah.
I can't see it from over here. Hold on.
Yes, the ones are in here. We're all seeing these.
So what's 3? Maybe? Yes, no, maybe. That's the third option. Maybe.
Yes, no.
Let me be honest. You actually paid attention to that. I did not. That completely passed me, and you know why that passed me. I ain't want to look at that mess. Anyway, so here we go. So this is how we're gonna rock this, man. We definitely want to do this. This is something that we've actually discussed and we've had the conversation about. But I want you guys to show us some love, man. We want to try to get to the Boombox, and we want you guys to help us out. So if that's the case, got the PayPal link in there. Go ahead and hit us with the PayPal, man. Help us, man. Whether it's $5, $4, $3, $2, $1, $10, $200, it don't matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and support us going to the Boombox, man. I'm definitely 100% down for doing that. But, you know, I want to make sure that, you know, we can all get there. Because guess what? You know, Rick is coming from Connecticut. Quan is coming from Houston. Me and Maya coming from Dallas. And we got to get Mario to come from out New Jersey, man. So, you know, that's a heck of a feat to try to get on Saturday.
Hey, if Mario keep missing these shows, I'm going to get him a Ken picture. And it's going to come across the screen. Where's Mario? Where's Mario? Miss another one. I guarantee you I have a next show. I promise you, Mario. I love you to death. But I'm going to find the worst picture of you on. You'll be, and it's going to be, where's Mario? Watch.
I'm going to screenshot that you just did right on the Facebook, right on the page, on the Talk That Talk page. That's going to be your new circle, just like that. But yeah, man, go ahead, guys, hit that PayPal. It don't matter how much you give, man, but just continue to support us. It's next weekend. It's November 13th. Man, yeah, man, we coming from all over, man, and we're trying to be in the mix of everything. We don't want to just be up there recording. We want to give you the live, educating you. We need Maya to go ahead and give the live thought process of what them dolls is talking about, because Maya said they have left much to be desired this year. So we want to get her there live and in person. All right.
Y'all stay setting me up for failure on here. But let me ask this. So I was reading through the comments. Mr. Scarfinger asked, he said, wish I could have heard the last one. So it's the live footage that we did for last week. Is that still up on the YouTube channel? Is there somewhere that everyone can review that, just so they can also get a sense of what to expect and what they would be expecting?
Yeah, everything stays up on the YouTube. I don't take nothing down. I don't care if it's a good show, bad show, flaws and all. We gonna show the show. Yeah, if we have a bad show, I mean, we ain't had one yet, but I'm just saying, if that ever happens, you know what I'm saying, which I seriously doubt, but if it ever happens, it ain't going nowhere. It's gonna be up there. So all of our content is on the Real Talk That Talk page. Also, if you type in Real Talk That Talk on YouTube, the first thing that's going to come up is Passion Is. That is going to be that's the actual network. You subscribe to that, and you can get all of our stuff on there. And then also it says, and share the link with everybody. That means share it with your cousin, your mama, and your auntie too. We'll take a couple dollars. We'll take it. You know what I'm saying? We trying to.
We need that $1,000.
That $1,000, yeah. Absolutely.
Hey y'all, this is who was snoring right here. Now he up. This is who was snoring. So it won't me. I ain't breathing like this.
It sounds like he's still snoring. I heard
He's still snoring a little bit from what I can hear. All right. Yeah, definitely. I definitely remember you in there. If you go back and watch the video, you'll hear some of the issues that we had, because PV don't have no windows that open in the press box. That's still the weirdest thing to me, man. Me, Quan, and Maya was up there like, what kind of backwoods message? But you know,
I was fine with it. They don't need none. That's a safety issue.
No, you tripping. I want to open that window. I wanted to open that window and
better open them speakers in the meantime, between time.
Yeah, we ain't figured out how to do that yet, but it's all good, man. But yeah, the PayPal link is in there. Once again, go ahead and drop some love on us. Also, please make sure you share it out. We're gonna keep this thing running all the way up until, I want to say, Thursday, Friday-ish. So we're gonna have it running from now until next show. We're gonna put it in all of the videos that I upload onto the show. So just be prepared for that. Anyway, we got after party coming up. Anybody staying for that? I know Quan gotta get out of there. I'm gonna stay. You can log in from your phone.
Yeah, but I don't be looking around. I'm gonna stay a little bit though.
Okay. All right. We got the after party coming up. So if y'all want to stay around.
Hey, hold up. Did that man just say he don't be looking right? What, you trying to look sexy on the show, Quan?
He don't be right.
I have no idea what you said, because Rick still ain't turned his speaker down.
I say it don't be looking right now, or sounding right in the car. So I'm trying to focus.
You're right. I feel you, because you be having to, pay attention to that road. Yeah. But yeah, man, we're gonna have an after party coming up. So if y'all stick around for the after party, if y'all leave after the after party, we have all kind of conversations. So it's not necessarily geared to band, but I always want to be respectful of everybody's time. We already went 2 hours and 13 minutes. So, if you got to go, then you got to go. But I always want to be respectful of everybody's time. So before we get out of here and shut it down, before we get to that after party, boom, boom, boom. Quan, you got any final things you want to say? Any final thoughts?
Nah, just keep supporting the show, man. Keep supporting Black businesses.
All right, bet. Oh, dang it. I got to do it right every time. I can't stop the way we do it.
What's good, Ma?
All right, Maya, what's your final thoughts?
I mean, another great show. We're this much closer to meeting our goals. The impact is definitely here every week. I see new faces, new comments. So we just got to keep doing what we're doing. Put your money where your mouth is. What do I always say? Alumni associations, whatever you can do to reach out, to be an ear for somebody, a shoulder, whatever we can do to press the culture forward. I agree.
There we go. And Rick, any final thoughts? Anything for the coach?
Hey man, yeah. After the event this weekend, y'all, thank you for supporting these kids, man. Because it's not like I keep saying this whole episode. It ain't about us. It's about the generations that's coming behind us. Quan said he has children. We want Quan's children to get a quality music education when they go to school and have opportunities that we didn't have. So continue to support.
Quan, your own you phony.
Quan is the one that made the comment. Everybody know you got children. It ain't no secret.
Anyway,
my babies. I love my babies. Also, I'm gonna do something a little different this week, man. Obviously, y'all know I want to. But Maya, she already said it. Support black, man. We all about that. I want to throw y'all some new music that's coming out. Y'all want some bangers to listen to this week, man. You know, it ties into what we do. Moonchild. If you've never heard Moonchild before, Moonchild has a dope album that's about to drop pretty soon. And Terrace Martin is finally dropping that Drones album on Friday. If y'all want some good music to listen to this weekend, check out those groups, man. That Terrace Martin album and that Moonchild album has some crazy features on them. And they have really good music. And check out their old stuff, too. Molly Music and Jonathan McReynolds have a live album. Go check that out. That's a good one, too. So cool, man. I'm going to drop y'all some awesome music every week. I got a lot. So we'll get on this listening journey together.
Yeah, I'm definitely say this. Rick definitely has one heck of a catalog. He puts me on to a lot of stuff that I had absolutely no idea about, or I just wasn't even thinking about. So maybe we should just make that a segment for you, bro. But we can talk about it, man. We got some, because like I said, we got a lot of stuff in the works that I really am ready to get out, but it's all good. So with that being said, though, I do want to go ahead and give my final thoughts, man. I just want to say I appreciate everybody for continuing to rock with us, man. I appreciate everybody who's continued to subscribe. Every time I look at the analytics, man, the numbers are going up, and I appreciate you guys. You all are getting the word out. I truly believe that this is one of the best shows, if not the best show, where we talk about band music education, HBCU band culture, and more, man. So I appreciate you guys, man. So continue to get the word out, continue to spread the word, because we're going to continue to do what we do here, man. And that's going to be touching people's lives and hopefully pushing the culture forward and changing the culture as we go. All right. I appreciate you guys, man. You guys are awesome. By the way, man, I meant to say this. My LB, who also makes the all seasoning, is the same person who makes all my tracks, man. So I appreciate my LB, man. My LB's dope.
Don't leave. Stay on. Talk to us. Come talk to us.
According to Rick, everybody needs to stay and talk to us. We're gonna have some fun at the after party. I'm gonna go get a sip. You're gonna see my camera come off, and you're gonna see me come back with a drink. And I gotta eat too, because Maya ate while the show was going on. I'm gonna eat after the show.
She drank, ate, and she was just reading the book. She read a novel on here too. Everything.
Listen, we at home. I'm with my people. I'm with my family. Might as well.
You ain't at home in Dallas. Anyway, let me get out of here, man. I'm gonna holler at you guys. If you stand around for the after party, just give us about maybe 30 seconds and we'll get you right back. All right, appreciate y'all. I'll see you guys next week.
Can they still hear?
Yes.
Oh. Well.
I'm laughing at you, Maya.
Oh.
All right. We can at least throw some K's or something. Make it universal for everybody on here. Good Lord. I'm sorry. My bad.
Not you was in the D side.
There we go. Now everybody's included.
Right.
Hey man. That's right. Frat music. You right. That's how you spell it. Frat music. Yeah. My LB. Hey. Real talk. I actually made some tracks with them. I'm on a couple of tracks. I got a couple of them in my email. We did that already. We hit the symphony. There you go.
How many?
Hey, can we talk? Can we start off with this mess about how Virginia just completely dropped the damn ball on this governor's race? Really, Virginia?
Everything.
Really? Oh,
Hey, Rick, can I ask you a question, bro? Can you turn down your freaking speakers?
Can you kiss my whole wide open ass? Please. Just all anus. Just.
Bro,
How about that?
I've been saying that to you for the last. I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna turn it down.
You got a fish eye on your microphone. You know what a fish eye lens looks like? That's what you found coming from your computer or from your mic sounds like to me right now.
You need to use headphones. If you're gonna have that.
I'm
Watch
talking.
Yeah, we,
Not brownie.
Okay, what were you saying? You see how I turned it down? I don't hear the echo no more. Now, what were you saying, Mike?
Never mind.
that's
Yeah,
your weak ass thing.
that's your mess.
Then how come every time you turn your mic off, the echo goes away? I'll wait.
I turned your mic off.
No, when you turn yours off, it goes away.
I didn't even turn my mic off. See,
I understand. That's your weak ass system.
Oh my God. You know,
Who's still? How many people still in here? I can never see.
That's
16, 15.
Is this
Really,
loud?
Virginia?
It is. Yes, it's loud.
What up, Abe? What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up, cute out?
Whoa, I came in at the wrong time. Hey, man, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, man. Great show. Y'all are amazing.
Thank you.
Man, thank you, dog. I appreciate it, dog. Thank you, man. Oh Lord.
You know, I love you, man. I really do. Y'all are great.
Ciao.
When is the Boombox Classic though? The 13th?
Next
13.
week. Yeah, next week.
Y'all trying to have me on the plane with them folks? Lord Jesus.
I mean, if you get blessed, you know, we can hit a van, daddy.
What? No, you're crazy. Not
What?
doing that. Not doing that.
What? No, seriously. Not like one of them little like, you know, like compact daddies, but like one of them, what's it? 8 passenger daddy? What's it called? I can
A Metris,
Sprinter?
a Sprinter. Yeah, that's what I was like.
scoop you and then hit Quan up on the way.
The thing. Oh, well, I was gonna say I don't know if I'd be coming from Hurston or Dallas.
Well, either way, we can all
Langston.
we can all hit it. Oh yeah, that's right. You said you're gonna be in Langston. You can go up to Oklahoma then. What was that?
Was that your ass, Quan?
That was that meme that was talking about when your son be freestyling and he kind of go hard.
Man, look at Maya. Maya got the whole setup. She got the Drake. She got the Kevin Samuel set on there. She got the candle, all that. What's the fragrance of the evening?
There's no candle. Usually I have a candle when I'm at home, but I'm not at home.
The fragrance of the evening is Lullaby.
Not sponsored by Erykah Badu.
Actually, I got on Coconut Nana right now. Y'all can check that one out. That one's fire.
Is that coconut and banana? Coconut now?
Yeah, it's called Coconut. It has vanilla in it too. It smells great.
Interesting. Cocoa now.
Coconut Nana.
Cocoa vanilla. Cocoa banana. They missed
Boy,
the
she on that potion, y'all. Look, she can't say coconut and nana.
No, you said vanilla was in it too. They missed the moment. It could have been like cocoa banana.
So basically, what you saying is
Vanilla coke. No. It would have to be like cocoa banana would have been right.
So what you saying is you got that nut on you, is what you're saying.
Well, well.
You got that nut and banana.
Don't get an eye.
Hey, can you please come on the show so we can even out this? I got 2 monkeys around me. I need a couple more real men on this show with me. Hey, can you come on down?
Hey, real talk. Hey, on some work stuff. I gotta holler at you, but just hit me with the text message.
Man, hey, put the link in the bio. Hey, dog.
My bad. I ain't.
No, you meant to do it because you got control. You alphas. You always trying to silence the dog. That's what's up. Maya,
Mm-hmm.
is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you still in Houston?
Well, it all started.
See, look, Julian and Maya, look, Julian turned his weak ass mic off. Ain't no echo. But go ahead, Maya.
Whenever I come, usually I don't feel like driving back. Or, well, that's what it is. Or I'm here having so much fun. I'd be like, well, I'll get there when I get there.
Can you work from anywhere?
Yep. I'm on my work computer right now.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of that, y'all, look, people, if you still watching, I meant to say this at the end of the show, and y'all too. My recital is November 18th at 8 o'clock Eastern, so 7 o'clock y'all time, and we're live streaming it on UConn's website. So if y'all want to see me put my money where my mouth is, man, please support my recital. November 18th at 7 o'clock y'all time, but 8 o'clock Eastern. I'm doing my recital. We're performing some great music. My topic is third stream, so it's like wind ensemble music, but it's gonna have some jazz elements. And I'm closing with "Come Sunday" by Omar Thomas. So come check it out, y'all. It's gonna be a great concert. I was rehearsing them today. It's coming along. So come check it out, homies.
Omar Thomas from the composer that's at UT.
Huh?
The guy that's the composer from UT.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He cool.
Yeah, I mean, I met Omar, and we've been knowing each other since 1999, man. Good brother, man.
Very good.
Now, let me see. I forgot what his name was. Possibly Kenny? The guy that you said introduced, or is the reason why you marched Blue Devils. I'm so sorry. I know it started with the K, but I could not.
Quan.
Kenny.
No.
Oh, Kenny. No, he marched Blue Coat.
It was Kenny.
Yeah, he marched Blue Coat.
Okay. Damn, I lost my train of thought. Never mind. I'll tell you when I remember again. It's probably irrelevant anyways.
Yeah, Kenny. Man, I wonder what happened to Eric.
So, real quick, first of all, like I said before, it is your phony situation. Y'all was still echoing. The speaker is too loud. And then secondly, I do kind of want to send some love and condolences to my good friend, man. I know y'all are PV people and we're former directors and stuff, but just want to send a shout out to the Hill family. They just lost Kanisha, who was a former Fox, and G is my brother. He's my gent brother from high school, and he's D-Sci as well. And so I just want to send a special shout out to them and condolences. Just the fact that we just want to continue to pray for him and his family. So definitely, I don't want to make the mood extra somber and stuff, but it's that because that's family to me, man. I just want to make sure I show love to them.
That's part of support, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Abe Williams, can you please come in here, Doc, so we can show these two monkeys what it's like to be real brothers?
I don't understand this whole monkey.
These simians, all right? Let's show them.
Okay.
But I put the link in there though.
These apes, that mess.
That's better.
Oh, so you don't want to be called a monkey, but you rather be called an ape.
And you'd rather be called a mangy mutt.
No, I wouldn't. I'd rather be called a man of Omega.
Yeah. Dog.
Wow.
Okay.
Nah, y'all.
Wow, I really did.
I
I stay embarrassing myself on here.
Julian in the dark. I wonder.
Yeah,
I wonder what he doing.
I've been showing Cedar Hills.
I didn't mean to, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, Quan, but I also didn't mean to hit your mute, but I just got tired of that echo. But go ahead. What were you saying, Quan?
No, I was just saying that I've been showing Cedar Hills video. So shout out to the band director. What his name was, Derek?
Yeah.
You interviewed him?
No, I interviewed another guy,
Oh.
the younger guy with the dreads. you interviewed him? Nah. It was a younger guy with the dreads. But I was showing my kids and asking them, what do you think it takes to become a band like this? Like, and they were just saying, like, well, we got to cut some people, Mr. Mitchell, because everybody in discipline. And they were literally critiquing the entire field. But like, just in order to create band culture, you got to show other high schools that are doing it at a high level. And like I say, big ups to Cedar Hill, man. They doing it, man. Like, for real.
Definitely.
What's the question?
I can. What question? Oh, I have a question.
Trap said he had a question.
While he's about to ask the question, I will say this: I definitely agree with you, Quan.
Mm-hmm.
And not to just try to put so much out there. I'm pretty sure Abe understands if he's still in here, because he said he's disposed of at the moment. But I would definitely do that with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that the area I'm in kind of makes that difficult.
Right.
Just because of the style and the two different styles of Cedar Hill and where I'm at in Duncanville.
Trap said, player, click the link, bro. Come on here.
I don't think he saw the link. Let me put the link. If you're in the comment section and you trying to get on and talk some crap with us, I'm gonna put the link in the comment section. So there's the link.
So let me ask y'all this. Who the best band in the country right now?
The best? Are we talking about marching band? And are we strictly keeping it to HBC?
Julian, is your house hot? You got the opposite pit stain, man. Look at that shirt. Look at that shirt. Like somebody sprayed your underarm with the little thing.
Yes, sir. It's hot in here.
Well, who the best band in the country, bro? Show style. I mean, we talk about show style band. Who's the best band in the country?
I'm sorry, bro. I haven't honestly seen a lot from Bethune. I haven't seen enough from Norfolk for me. If I'm just going off of level of consistency, and if I'm taking field show out of it, I'm definitely gonna actually give it to either Alabama State or Kentucky. But that's only based on the fact that I've seen consistent work from them from beginning to now. And it to me, it's only kind of gotten better. So that's the only reason why. So that's where I'm at.
Quan.
I guess Rick running the panel now.
I'm not trying to be biased and say Prairie View because I've seen them the most this year thus far. Because there's so many bands that I've grown to truly appreciate. Like I seen Alabama State show, and I must say, sound entertaining, like they on point. But I honestly, it will boil down between J State and Southern for me. Those will be the two. I think Southern came out real talk punching hard. Maybe they felt like, the talk of the transition of Brian Simmons, they felt like, well, that they're going to quote unquote go down. And I feel like that TikTok show that they had in the beginning of the year kind of like set the stage for it. But I just like Jackson State in the direction that they're going. I like their song selection. I like their stand tunes. I think the battle with Talladega, proved that they can do it in the stands. And if you look at their field shows, honestly, they have some of the straightest lines in the business at this point, even from a drone perspective. So it will come down to those two, Southern or J State. But my third, honestly, would be Alabama State for me.
Maya, who got the best dancers?
Alabama State still got it for me. This thing is week over week, overall look, execution, down to the fashions, down to the entertainment. They've been the most consistent, and they've changed up. So, okay, you know how we say, and we were talking about it on Saturday, when it comes to a SWAC or when it comes to a show band style show, let me say that we pretty much know the order, right? When it comes down to dance routines or auxiliary routines, it's more times than not, you kind of know how it's going to go. They've been doing a very good job of switching up the look and the antics of everything. So, I mean, still, without a doubt, Alabama State has truly been doing it for me. And, I mean, we're going to be honest and fair. Just because we have a home team don't necessarily mean I got to put my home team and say, oh, they're number one, if it's not the case for me. So, number one, I would say Alabama State. And number two, I think I would actually say Jackson State. I've seen the growth. I've seen the progression in the program. And right now, they've gotten comfortable, not to say comfortable in terms of a copacetic or stagnant, but comfortable. They're in their element right now. The Crabs seem to be in their element. They look cohesive as a unit, and they're still pulling out new plays. Even I don't even know how many games we have left in the season, but you can see the progression week over week over week, and I can respect that very much. So those are my top two, and it just kind of goes like this from there, honestly.
I'm sorry, y'all. I think Alabama State is running away with it. Like
they having a bad season, and I say bad, meaning good.
Yeah, like they just been super solid. And the thing about it is, I've never heard them sound like this. So I think this is a formula. Bigger is not always better. They're smaller than what they normally are. I think they trimmed a lot of the fat out of the band. I think also their arrangements are better this year than what they've been ever. So for me, it's Alabama State hands down. I think Alcorn is okay. I mean, obviously you're going to have Southern there because they're just the epitome of consistency. I think PV would be in the conversation if they were just a little more consistent. I think once their band members make the decision that they want to be the best, they will be. You know, I think it's easy to say you want to be the best, but to actually put the work in to be the best, making sure every member of the band knows the music. You know, that's what killed them in Southern. You know, in addition to, you know, people may not have liked the song selection, but the fact of the matter is, if they would have played the songs they had better, I think they would have had better results. So, you know, for me, they're a top 5 band. But, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Alabama State on this. Tennessee State was good this year. So it's a lot of good bands. Jackson has not been my favorite, but they sound, you know, they're Jackson. So, you know, kudos to them. And I think everybody must have forgot about Norfolk. And that's because they haven't seen 1,000 videos of Norfolk like some of these other bands. But Norfolk is still good, you know. So I had to put Norfolk in my top 5 as well. So, and my dog snoring again. So sorry, y'all.
Can y'all hear me now, y'all?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So let me say this, bro. Norfolk is good. Like, I think Norfolk is one of the best sounding bands, bro. Like, period. Like I say, when my first introduction of Norfolk, and then y'all say Norfolk, however y'all pronounce it, dog, we had to march right behind them, dog. Like, Norfolk is a great sounding band, but I must say this too. It's just certain aspects that's just not entertaining, and I think that's where they kind of fall short. Honestly, like, even there was like arguments about like the $1 Million Funk Squad. Like, they can play, but you also got to remember there's also an entertainment factor too. Like, you can't play your instrument from the perspective that everybody knows what you're playing, because everybody doesn't. Some people, they really just want to be entertained. I mean, as well. So it's got to be the best of both worlds.
You got kicked out the band room?
Yeah. They about to start shutting stuff down. So let me walk into the car.
Oh, okay.
I agree with you though, Quan. But the thing about Norfolk is Norfolk in a lot of ways is just like Bethune. They have a specific playbook that they don't stray away from. Norfolk is still playing music from when I was in the band 20 years ago. That's weird to say, but they still playing that stuff. And you know, and so it's great to do that, man. I would love to see Norfolk like revamp the book, but the thing about it is they just like we were. They didn't focus on stand music. That's not the focus of Norfolk's band. They spend more time on the field than they do in the band room. So, you know, that I think that's what rubs people the wrong way, but it's also who they are, and I don't see them changing. And, you know, the fact of the matter is ain't nobody going to out-drill or outplay Norfolk on the field. You may out-drill them because I like what Gary is doing at A&T. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. Right now, I think Gary is the best drill writer in Black College. What he's doing at A&T is special, man. And, you know, he's young, so he's only going to get better. And, you know, he's only going to get more innovative. So if they can get the band's sound to match the way they look, A&T going to be a problem too, man. So I'm anxious to see what band looks like next year with hopefully COVID being not as big of a factor. So we'll see.
Did Maya give her band?
Yeah, she said Alabama State and Jackson.
Was that from a dancer perspective, or was that from?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
You don't
just
like-
all around.
You don't like it?
She said they number
It
one.
was, I said, yeah, it was the best one.
Oh, Smith's. I missed that. I went to go get something to eat. My bad.
Why are
Sorry.
you in the dark? What you know?
'Cause
You playing duck hunt?
Yeah. In my hand right now. It's real dry because I got these chips.
Jurgens Jones. That's your new name.
Yeah, see, I'm in the dog eating these chips, man. I don't want y'all to be seeing me snack. I'm hungry.
Hey,
These folks just saw me get down on what was I eating at Touffet. Don't do that.
That was a personal choice. That ain't what I'm doing. You gonna see me and this dog eat this here chip. Hold up. There.
What you got to hide? What you got to hide?
I'm a messy eater.
Me too.
So
you hiding them pit stains.
Hey, that too.
Told me I look like Obama.
You do.
Y'all, okay. Would you ever accept? Never mind.
No. Go ahead. Come on, Boo Boo Kitty. You didn't already started it. Come on, Boo Boo Kitty.
You on the after party now? It don't matter what it is. Let go.
Okay, so what if somebody was trying? Like, this is them apologizing, right? They sent you a card, but the words was misspelled in it. How would you feel about that?
They were in such distress, Maya. They couldn't even think to spell it. You were the only thing they were thinking about. That was it. Just you.
The thing is,
I'm sorry.
it was after one day.
And he messed up already, Maya. After one day.
And then,
Right.
I ain't gonna give my opinion because hopefully that brother might be your soulmate, but
I don't think so.
Well, let me ask you this question.
You said you want to see the card?
No, no. Was everything on the card misspelled or just like one thing?
Well, no, it was a couple things.
now hold on, Maya. Are these like words that people misspell all the time, including college educated
It does
people?
not matter.
Like there and there.
Google, we have iPhones. We have Siri. We have dictionaries, encyclopedias, thesaurus. Like
That's that town view education right there. When you go to the best high school in the country, y'all,
Everybody be on the same level.
no, I'm sorry. It's not even that. It's just, okay, if you're going to try and come correct, then please come correct. If I know that I did something, well, even still, no matter what I'm writing, if I'm going to, come on, red flags, exactly. I don't know. It just feels like half stepping, like you're not presenting your best self if you're trying to, and maybe they did not know that it was misspelled. I'm not sure, but needless to say, okay, you could have did like typed it up. I don't know. We could Photoshop it.
I think the biggest concern should be the fact that he's apologizing after the first date. That's a double.
No,
Absolutely.
Well, it was a date and a half, but no, I totally agree. the sense that that you done pissed me off like that to begin with, sure.
But what did he do specifically?
Well, it all started. Let's see. So what was the first thing? He wasn't even my type like that to begin with, right? So I was trying to take a less of an approach of, I was trying to take a more humble approach.
Because you already got a dog, right?
Huh?
You didn't want to buy a dog because you already got one. So you were trying to
basically, well, yeah. I thought you was making an Omega joke because he actually is one, but I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Well, all gloves off. He's a great man. Jews don't cheat.
He might be. Maybe he's just not the great man for me. What I'm saying is that so everything was cool. In terms of the attraction or whatever, there were some things that I weren't necessarily attracted to on just a very shallow or eye level basis. Now, okay. How do I explain this? So there was kind of more than one issue. I invited him to the lounge or whatever, right? The hookah lounge. This has an open event. Now, if I invite, no matter who it is, if I invite anybody out, I'm going to always take care of you. That's just my nature, right? So I had already did the section thing, made everything, I made sure it was going to be nice, and festive, sure. I already told security, don't worry about it. Go ahead and let these people in. I done told my sister, hey, this person is coming, whatever. Now, it's not he wrote the card in the dark. Basically, there was a series of kind of like miscommunications that lined up with him basically standing me up by the end of the night. Now, again, this was not necessarily a date, but I understand people drink and, people have different levels of being able to be intoxicated or what have you. But needless to say, over a plethora of 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 30 minutes, I'm on the way. We're leaving now. We'll be there soon. So I'm just like, okay, well, I also have other people who are in here spending money. I cannot hold up this table forever. But it's just kind of like, it's not even that big of a deal. So that was red flag number one. Just communicate and say, hey, I've been drinking too much, or hey, I'm hanging out with my friends, whatever. We're not going to make it cool. We don't owe nobody anything. So that was red flag number one. Then also, I think the next time that he came around, he was a little bit loud with it, right? So he was saying, oh, I'm dating the owner's sister. Oh, now mind you, I know this because the DJ is my brother, right? So this potential man that I was dating at the time doesn't know everyone's situation, right? Because we've only been on a date and a half. He doesn't know what everybody looks like. So he's telling the DJ, oh, I put in a good word for you to her sister. Mind you, he don't even know the background, but between the DJ and my sister, they already have a cohesive relationship. It has nothing to do with, there's no word to be put in. But he's telling the people, yeah, I'm dating the owner's sister, like, what y'all want, this, that, and third. I don't want no loud man. And I'm just sorry. The person that's in there, like, hey, like, what you want? Or there was another Omega that was in there, right? So they had, whatever, right? Fraternizing, sure. Great. Right. Fellowshipping, sure. Great. No problem. Yes. But he was just loud. I don't want no loud man. Also, you're telling me you don't know how to control your alcohol. If you cannot drink, just don't drink. I've done with a toxic situation that was a little bit similar. I vowed that I would never, ever deal with that again. Don't like it. It's just too much. Okay. Thank you. Not discreet. One, he acting like he has clout. Exactly. He was telling people I got this, that, and the third. I don't like, I'm not loud with mine. I don't need anybody I don't like loud. Men should not be loud like that. Like, what are you flaunting? And you talking about you dating, telling people you want on a date. And I'm considering this the 0.5. One single date. We're not dating.
That's some cues for you.
So I'm going to ignore that mess that just came out of Julian. Chips.
What is that?
That's some cues.
So let me ask you, Maya, are these red flags?
Yes.
Disqualifiers?
Yes.
So then leave, because
I already did.
You just have
a conversation.
I mean, because like at this point, you getting older. You 28. You want to have and be able to enjoy the rest of your life. Get married and all that stuff.
Sure.
You need to be making moves that are moving in that direction. You don't need to be making moves just having your time wasted.
Agreed. I'm dating with intent, and it's simply that. But you know, I already felt and knew that I was not wrong. But you know, we just have might as well give the people a little juice, you know, a little something.
Sounds like some cute doggetry mess.
Well, first of all,
Well, I'm not gonna say that
geography.
because all of the
Thank
wrestling
you.
Omega men that I have ever known or met in my life, and those people, they're some very close to people to me who are also men of Omega, and I value them very much. So I won't say that. I also have some others who are very close and near and dear to my heart who exemplify those same characteristics. So sound like he ain't never been nowhere. Exactly. And I'm not the one that's going to be showing you how to move and groove. You're supposed to be showing me that.
Well, I was
Sound like a
walking
brother
across.
from No, actually, he went to Southern. Oh. Oh, well, nobody knows where he is. Well, he went to Southern.
You said you went to Southern?
That's what I said.
Hey, don't come after Beta Sig like that. They some good brothers. Hey, y'all remember when Beta Sig had that probate? Y'all remember that when Beta Sig had that probate where dude was in the wheelchair hitting the steps with the wheelchair?
Tell Rick
I think you were the only person that would be aware of that.
Nah, it's on YouTube.
Who is Trap Set Player? Because you absolutely right.
Who's what?
Tell Rick that, please.
What?
Read what he said.
Who?
Trap Set Player 1. Right before Kari.
That's because everybody's microphone is on.
He said, dang, you a chatty patty.
No. He said this echo is a red flag. Every time Rick hit his unmute daddy, that's where all the echo come in.
Well, all the mics are. Maya, mute your mic real quick. Julia, mute your mic.
You're not going to hear echo because ain't nobody talking.
But that's the point. If everybody mic is open, then what it is. My speaker is waiting. Let me turn it down some more. So I can barely hear you. Let me turn it down almost all the way off.
Now there's no echo. Now that you done turned it down.
And Mike is muted.
Mike,
is it me?
No, it's not you. It's Rick. He done turned his mic down a little bit.
Well, guess what? Just like this dating situation, it's above me now.
It's above me now.
It's above me now.
Camille said it's resolved.
And is.
Yeah, Maya, you ain't got no time to waste. Do what you know is best for you, homie. For
dating is weird though. It's fun.
Hey, but here's the thing though, like Maya, like I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I was never the type of guy when I was younger to just be like a nasty dude all around the place. But my wife and I were together.
Wait, what?
My wife and I were together for 10 years before we got married.
Whoa. Back up.
Julian, shut up.
Okay. Just remember, I know you undergrad.
No, I did not. I had a good time, but I was not the stereotypical, like you say, the stereotypical Omega. I was not.
Okay, I will agree to that. You were not the stereotypical Omega. But
so,
again,
like when me and Tiffany first started dating,
stereotypical Omega chapter.
But true. And when me and Tiff first started dating, she wouldn't talk to me. Well, when we first started talking, she would not talk to me because I was an Omega. And in the process of us getting to know each other, because she heard them same horror stories, we were together for 10 years before 9 years before we got married. And that was for two reasons. A, we wanted to make sure everything was straight financially, our whole situation. But B, we wanted to live our lives and do all the things we wanted to do. So, I enjoyed myself in college. I might have said a little something out here or there, but at the end of the day, when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, I knew I ain't want to be 40 years old and be by myself. So all of us figure it out at some point.
I will say this while I'm chewing this chip. But I'm gonna say
this. You going ham on that chip.
I'm done with it. This is my last one. Hey, you had your mic off when you was smashing food. But
with intent, exactly.
Good job. But I will say this, and I'm gonna say this on a public platform. Rick was a good dude, man. And Rick is a good dude. Always been a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Even in his escapades, he never did it in a wrong way. Yeah, he had some escapades. I ain't gonna tell all the business. But he always did it in the most respectful and presentable way. Mm-hmm. So Rick has always been a good dude. So, hey. There you go. But everybody everybody's true derogatory life is not Rick's life, and I think that is the difference. You know,
Well, that's because, and that's what every Greek organization, man. People live their fraternities, whatever it is, based on what they think it should be. Like for me, I was a national officer in Omega, so I couldn't be out here with my ass out, biting booties in the club, even though I was,
Wanting to.
I may have done it once or twice.
Don't be lying, because
Right, I ought to say I may have done it once or twice. You know what I'm saying? Like once or twice, or short time. But that wasn't like my appeal to Omega. And then when I was always into like the other side. We got enough people that can be out. I was out just like everybody else. I road trip just like everybody else. But at the end of the day, I truly wanted to live what Omega was about. And all these great people in my life that were Omegas, I knew better. Like I called Omega men Omegas. I didn't call them Qs. When I was on campus, my first day on campus, this is a true story. My cousin is a Omega from Virginia State. So he was like, you need to let the bros know you trying to get down. So I went up to, I never forget it, I moved into the dorm. I went outside in my white beater and shorts. It was cold outside because I saw the bros walking past my window. I ran outside in my white beater and shorts and flip-flops to go tell the bros I was trying to be the bros. Like, because I was like, and I told them right there, I was like, look, I'm going to be an Omega. I just want to, y'all, I need y'all to help me get to that. But it's just, that was my enthusiasm for the fraternity. So each man's journey in Omega is his own. But, go ahead, bro.
If we're going to go the Greek route, I think that's true for anybody.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Right? No, I didn't say you were wrong, or you didn't say it. I'm just saying, in general, I think that's really the journey for anybody. Because if I go back, you know me, bro. If you go back into my story, like straight up, I was gonna be alpha regardless. I didn't care what chapter was gonna be a part of. I was gonna be an alpha regardless. You nor anybody else was gonna change my mind about that. I mean, I think that's just kind of what it is. And then there's some people who say they gonna be one thing, go to the goddamn interest meetings, claim that they gonna be it, and then end up being something else. And I can name a whole crop of people, but it's just the journey.
A lot of your frat brothers.
A lot of your
I can say that's true, but
not true.
I can say
okay. So before you say something, Quan, because I hear you, bro. But before you say something, Rick, you have to justify which frat you talking about, because between me and you, we are all in the same thing except for Alpha and Omega. We are KK Psi, Phi Mu Alpha, and we both Masons. So which one you talking about?
So obviously that's the ones I'm talking about, because we in the other. I would have said our frat brothers.
No, because sometimes you hit it with mine. Sometimes you talking
about tight. You ain't never heard me say mine for the ones we in, except for when I first crossed KK Psi. That's it. So, nope. I'm talking about Alpha.
Well, if that's the case, I mean, hey, it is what it is. It wasn't me, so I don't give a damn.
Alpha Phi Alpha is the only fraternity I know. We were in college. I tell Julie hate when I tell it, but I don't care. It's the only frat that I know where you can go to their party as a member of another organization. And this organization, Maya, was IOTA.
Oh, God. Here we go.
An IOTA that we know, I ain't going to put his name out there because that's my boy. But an IOTA I know went to the Alpha Cabaret. It had to have been 150 Alphas in the room. Mm-hmm. Had the nerve to steal off. I'm talking about all out deck one of the Alphas in front of about 10 of his chapter bros. And they sat there, that's between them. I'm good. We going over here.
Listen.
Please.
I'm trying to I'm not gonna justify that behavior, because I was not an alpha man then, nor am I a part of that chapter. I have respect for that chapter, but that's not my chapter. But what I will say is this. I've told you on many occasions, EPI different, because let's be real. I probably would never in my life see that from Eta Gamma. There would never be a time where I would see that from Eta Mu. I'm sorry, bro. But, you know, and now I wasn't there. I didn't see it, but you've been telling me that same thing for years. That ain't something where I came from. That ain't what we was made off of. That's not how we were built. So whatever, you know, like I said, every chapter is different. Every organization is different. It depending on wherever you at. Because I will continuously say Pi Gamma is the most I will say Pi Gamma is the weirdest to me chapter of Omega Psi Phi I've ever seen in my life. Why? Because they never carried themselves like the typical Omega. That's why I never would have believed you were Omega had I not seen you with them daggone Q brands.
I think I know why my microphone was echoing. Am I echoing now, y'all?
I don't know. Hold up.
Wow.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I had clicked something in my mic settings and I think I messed it up, but I just
So
clicked it back.
now he finally understands. Now he tried to blame everybody on the panel.
Somebody said that was my microphone too.
No, that's mine. I'm sorry, y'all. I had clicked the button. It was my fault.
You see the mess I got to deal with this man. I can argue with this dude every day about something until he actually realizes it. He gonna go down fighting to say that he was right.
Yeah.
That ain't true. Stop shaking your head, Mike. You ain't never had that experience with me. Ever.
Not personally, but I have observed it. Seen it before.
I am not.
Hey, can we all put some money together and invest in Quan cell phone service? This man
I was finna say boys in the trenches. I don't know. He had the boonies. I'm like, damn, are you in Hempstead? Shit.
Hey.
Click this man in.
I'm on too. I don't know.
Are you driving to hell?
Man, I don't know what the hell is wrong. Is these damn iPhones, you know, once a new one come out, it start messing you up.
No, that's what ain't that.
Thank you. Them trash iPhones.
I don't think it's that.
No. My iPhone ain't. Well, this one trash now, but I don't.
Well, did you turn your Wi-Fi off?
Well, I'm driving.
Turn your Bluetooth. Huh? You said you got Wi-Fi in your car. Ooh. It's above me.
Yeah, some of us got money, man. You know, so you know.
Look, see, there we go.
That's that Chevy stuff. I mean, I don't know. I don't drive any of that. Okay, let me ask y'all this. If we go to the boombox, we don't have matching outfits, y'all. We need to wear. What we gonna wear? It's gonna be cute.
Matching
outfits. Polo daddy.
Yeah.
So look at here.
You know,
I know I like that kind of stuff. I like to be festive now, huh?
You know me. I'm gonna be out there fresh.
I know.
Listen, if we pop this off, if this goes down, the way I would like it to, and there are a lot of variables in this,
Sure.
know, but if this goes down, I have some things in mind that I would like to do. But
you know, you always got you some stuff in your back pocket.
I do.
I don't say nothing. If I can't say nothing else about you, always be ready for whatever. You stay ready.
I'm always thinking, like every day. I'm thinking about something new.
Maya,
but you know what?
Give him that credit because I told him, he asked me, and Maya, I went in and took care of my business ASAP. Soon as he hit me with the question, Daddy.
Right, and that's what I told him. I said, okay, well, tell me so I can start looking stuff up. And he said, just hold on real quick. But you went past go and did not collect $200.
Yeah, he just said, look, I literally I asked him the same question that I asked y'all. I messaged y'all the same thing. This dude 5 minutes later, all right, got my plane ready to go. Whoa! I just asked the question. This was a yes or no question.
That man just needed one.
Maya, I fly into New Orleans on Friday.
Listen, he needed one excuse. He already wanted to go, but he said, "Yup, just watch his levy." He had some flights on deck.
Own it, Maya. I was on it.
He already knew what he was trying to do, man.
And then he just needed one excuse. I'm serious. Dress alike. Y'all know I like to be festive. And I'm gonna be cute. I ain't gonna be nothing else.
Yeah, we know because you stood out in that picture with us.
So, Julie, we got a question.
You and then all of us. Nobody was worried about us in that picture. I can tell you that right now. Oh, you saying, Rick?
Look, Julie, we got a question, and I think Maya should answer it.
Maya and the men.
So we got to answer. So I got a text message.
Hold on, wait. You got a question from me, or you got a question from Maya?
Yeah, I got a question from my boy. He need to just type it in the comment, but it's our friend Kari sent me a question. He said, Why y'all always say daddy? Like Captain Daddy. So Maya, you want to explain why we always hit it?
Huh? I was listening, but I wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
Well,
What?
we've been saying, not Quentin. Kari, we've been saying that since
Forever. Well, at least, since I've known y'all said it.
Yeah, like it's like another word for like thing. So like that captain thing or something like that.
Yeah, like when people in Houston call everything a hoe.
Right. Same thing. So we've been hitting the daddy since we was in college.
Absolutely.
So you got that. You either got daddy or you got scud. So you either got that band scud or you got that band daddy. You either got on that hat scud or that hat daddy.
Or or when we can hit you with the Smiths and then we just put them together and you just like Smith's daddy.
Yeah, Smith's daddy. Smith's is another one. So we got our own car. We got our own language that we've been perfecting since college. We're gonna be 70. Hey, Julian, you over there?
Pass me that cane, daddy.
Man, hand me my cane, daddy, please. Golly.
I look at your ass, be like, Smiths, get your shit yourself.
Right. Get up, get your own damn walker. But yeah, that's why we get it.
Why you on or you just real still? Or that's your
frozen.
You frozen. I'll tell you, that man need to reset his phone. I turned it on and off or something.
There you go.
Oh Lord.
I'm getting hot in here laughing at y'all.
Yeah, you gonna have to pit daddies like me.
Yep. Hey Quan, so now when I see, not Quan, Kari, next time I see you, I'm gonna hit you with it. Kari, you hitting that? Hey, you at the UNT daddy? Yeah, I'm coming through. That's how you use it. So find a noun and then put daddy right behind it.
Kari plays trumpet.
Yeah.
Trumpet daddy.
Kari was a section leader at BD, man.
Kari, I might have to holler at you, bro. Hit me up. My info is in the joint.
Hey, all the Norfolk people on here, I'm about to take y'all down memory lane.
Ain't too many Norfolk people in here right now. I can tell you that right now. But go ahead. Let's see what.
Well, it would be from our generation. Is Robin still on here?
No, tight. Robin Tip.
Oh, y'all remember when we used to hit chop?
Now, why is it every time we get with Norfolk people, the first thing you want to do is
lies?
I play trumpet daddy. You always want to bring up the chop.
Chop was because I always want to bring up when Doc told the band Chop in that damn band room and about had everybody in there crying.
Yeah, they don't. Quan and Maya don't know what chop is. We would have to explain it.
The only chop I know is chop style.
Yeah, we ain't talking about the song. Even though back during my younger
days, to the throat.
Nah, back in my younger days though, chopper style was.
So Maya, we used to play this game called Chop, right? So you know how you like having a conversation with somebody and they'll like mess their words up. So like you'll be talking and they'll be like, yeah, I went to the stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if that happens, you say chop before they can say no chop. You get to position their face in the place you want it and use the back part of your hand right here and hit them right in the face just like that with the back part.
Like on their team like
just
that?
like that. Yep. No, on the side.
Oh.
Like stealing off on somebody, but not really.
So is that the equivalent of necking somebody?
No, because necking is yeah, I guess so.
Sort of. But it was out of fun. It wasn't out of punishment. So we were all.
I'm talking about necking in that same manner. Not well.
People give neck as for fun.
Yeah.
Back when I was coming up, yeah, that was a thing. It was it was two ways that you can give neck, but either way, it wasn't really for a punishment either way. So like you can do like what we used to do for chop and just hit somebody on the neck, or you just be like,
or if they said something stupid,
come on, give it to me, and then you just bend the neck over and you just give them the neck. Or if you did it for a motivational purpose, but it was never like a punishment.
Like a
Chop was so funny, Mike, because what happened was we would all hit the soft daddy. We were like, oh, I got you, dog. My rookie brother Moses, all of us would be like, dog, you better not mess up around Moses. Because that man Moses would try to take your damn jaw off, Mike. Like, oh,
but the thing about Moses though is Moses is like 6'5"
Yeah.
and huge.
So you
So
have to
even
lay
if he
down
was
good.
playing, it feel like he hit you with a straight Tyson punch.
His name is James, but he like an old lad. He had like an old ass man name, so we named Moses.
You know what, Quan? I applaud
Quan, I
you and
got
I commend you
$20
for
on it.
trying.
Hey,
He's
man,
I got
steady trying.
$20 on it, dog.
Huh?
He's steady trying.
He's
I said
sticking
I have to commend Quan because he's steady trying. He holding on. He really trying.
He said he's trying to stick with this after hours, man. Or this
Really, really trying. Every
Hey, dog,
5
I got
minutes.
$20 on it.
after you got $20 on it.
I got $20. You gonna have to step up to the next playing rate, dog. You gonna have to get the unlimited or something.
Tough, persistent.
You need a better data
It's
package.
10:30. Now y'all got me on here at 10:30. It's past my bedtime. My bedtime is 8
No, it
p.m.
ain't. You supposed to be going to the club. When
Guess
else
what?
the club
I'm
at?
never. No, I'm
No,
in
she ain't-
Houston.
she in Houston. She ain't going to that hookah.
No.
I had to say it like that with the extra.
Yeah,
K.
Yeah, Devin, we tried to take it easy on the people we knew had the speech impediment, but if you didn't, tight. Man, Moses was trying to take your jaw off.
No, I'm looking at it. Who is Trap Set Player One? I gotta know who this is. Because he said I know
his phone.
I know his phone was hot. His phone feel like your room.
Oh yeah, this room hot as hell.
Hey, look, a new season. That $20 ain't gonna do a dang old thing. Quad, throw that phone in the trash, homie.
He just gotta keep his shit on mute and just smile and laugh. That's all he
We
can
don't
do.
hear nothing.
You know,
We don't
it's
hear
bad.
nothing,
That's exactly
man.
what
He can't do nothing but smile and laugh.
That man can't wait to get home and get on the Wi-Fi.
That Wi-Fi is his power, man. He gonna power up once he get there.
Hey, he got the light on and all. Hey, turn that light on and focus on the road. Don't worry about us and your trash ass phone. That man look like he in there having a party too. You must be listening to some DMX or something.
He in there listening to techno.
Boots and cats and boots and cats.
How many people still in here listening to this foolishness?
8.
Tell them 8
Man,
people to
he's
hop
in
on here. Come on here, y'all. We get
I'm
one more
about to
shot.
leave. I got to
Right.
go.
That's why I said you get one more shot. Cause hey, I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Right.
Oh yeah, Maya, you working remotely.
I still be running late.
No, I'm
Maya, how the hell you run late online? Going on again. Maya, how you late to online?
Just like I'm running late for tomorrow already. I just be late.
Maya, that means you doing it on purpose.
How you wait? Now see, this is a discrepancy here.
That means you doing it.
What?
How you run a show talking about dealing with jobs and HR, but you coming in late to your job?
And that's one of the things that I talk about. Working remotely has really set me back in terms of my offerings to work. I work a lot less. I'm more efficient because at this point I've learned how to finesse every single thing. And that's one of the things that I talk about is basically how I ain't shit when it comes to work these days. I'm just being honest with you because I finesse it so much and my numbers don't show that. Month over month, week over week, I'm either the number 1 or number 2 analyst, and most times it's number 1. I rake in the most money month over month. So I'm like, well, if I can do all that, and I don't have to be glued to my computer 10, 12 hours a day, even though sometimes that's why sometimes I'm working when I'm on here with y'all because I've parlayed or been at this appointment getting my nails done at happy hour, doing whatever all throughout the day. I just save it for, okay, well, I can probably get this done in about 2 hours, 3 hours, or whatever the case may be. I'm just being honest.
It's true. I mean,
and that's what the other podcast is about. I mean, we just be giving our perspective, but I'm running late because I know how much time it takes me basically to do everything that I need to do. So it's like I don't have to be up at 6:30 when my first list comes out. I can probably just make that thing at 9:30, 10, as long as I got all my negotiations and stuff like that in by 1:30.
Oh, well, fine. That's dope. I appreciate that because you didn't finesse the system, but I need you to finesse me with this here date
Well, it's been nice knowing y'all.
No.
Listen, just like we were talking about Saturday, I feel you. I feel you, and I've been thinking about it. I'm dealing with that imposter syndrome. I'm being honest with you. I'm so scared to push that button.
Well, look here. Would you prefer I do it and then
no, because I don't want you to what do they call that when you're kind of helping somebody do something? I have to make that call on my own. I have to be able to stand and feel confident in myself to know, because I won't feel as fulfilled at the end of it, right? If I feel like, okay, well, you slid me the handoff, it's not going to be as fulfilling. And for a project like this, I need for it to be fulfilling, because it has to be that. It has to be a sense of motivation. It has to be something different. And I know that for me to feel that and feel like, okay, I can do this, I have to, you already given me a lot. I have to be able to push the rest through.
Oh, wait. I gave you a lot as in motivation or a lot of work to do? I'm trying to figure out which one.
No. Motivation and just the starting point, because you already hit me with a couple of like prospects, or, we kind of shaped the outline of it. Now we just got to fill it in.
Am I the only person on here that's saying, what the hell y'all talking about?
Yes, we're having a conversation without
There's only one person
talking about dating now. They talking about playing Yu-Gi-Oh cards. What are we talking about?
Well, y'all will be soon finding out, but we're having a conversation. You know how you can have a conversation with somebody without words from across the room?
There's only one person that knows what we're talking about, and that's my manager there in the chat. But that's about it. But so here, how about this? I'm gonna just give you an old tomato, okay? So can we get a date before? Not you give me a date before. Can we just make sure that the date is before the marching season is over?
That it happens before, yes.
Yes. Okay.
When is my season over? Let me be clear.
So typically, marching season is going to be over in the December months.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Most games are done in the November, December area. If we had Honda still, then that would be different. But seeing as Honda is not a thing right now, then I would say mid-December.
Cool.
Car, are you going to the Super Regional?
I think I'm gonna head out though, guys. Love y'all.
All right.
See you next week.
Bye, boo.
Y'all be safe. Y'all be on time to work tomorrow. Don't be like me.
I will.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
That means no.
I don't think I'm going to the Super Regional. I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you?
Hell no. Be up here. Hey, I ain't coming down there. We got we're playing at, actually, you know what, Car? I'm lying. We're playing at Giant Stadium on Saturday.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we're the closing act for the BOA championships at Giant Stadium on Saturday.
Oh wow. What Saturday? Which Saturday is that?
It's upcoming Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. BOA championships up here is Saturday.
Oh wow.
Yeah, all right, I might need you.
All right. Just let me know.
But I gotta figure out how I gotta get your info.
Okay.
So yeah. I'll let you know what it is. Because you said you were in UNT, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I got it.
Oh man. All right, I'm going to bed, homies.
What? Shut down? It's time to shut down. That's good. Let me go ahead and put the closing music on. There we go. Everybody who rock with us, I appreciate you guys, man. We held it down for a little bit. Maya had the tip, so that obviously means that once the lady of the room leaves, that means all the fellas gonna follow suit, because you already know how it goes.
Right.
Leave, it's tight. The club is over.
Tight.
Yep. Right.
Shut it down.
So Karen came on for like 2 seconds just to be like, "Hey man, I love y'all."
Yeah. Absolutely.
But
that
man,
man Kari in the living room watching TV anyway. He said, "I'll be all right."
But man, I appreciate everybody, man. Kari, we appreciate you already, man. Just hit me up. We will see you guys next week. Yeah, all that good stuff. Kari, get my info, or matter of fact, just stay on once I cut it off, and then we'll exchange info. Other than that, man, see you guys next week. This after party has been fun. Please make sure you guys hit that PayPal, man, and let's get to the boombox. We'll see you guys next week.